Dickinson for the point. Back to better through the block and down. Field goal. Back to pass. He'll look to fire deep and intercepted. Stretchy diving. He's in.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good fall evening from Fargo South High School. It's high school football 11A playoffs on the air tonight here on your live event as the Dickinson Midgets travel across the state from the western to the central time zone for a state and a spot in the state semifinals up for grabs between the Fargo South Bruins. Dickinson at 4-5 on this season. The Fargo South Bruins also at 4-5 on the year. Both teams had a little up and down roads to get to the playoffs, but regardless, it's the 4 and the 5 matchup. The winner to play the winner against Bismarck, St. Mary's, and Devils Lake a week from tonight in the Class 11A postseason. I'm Chase Miller alongside with Chris Crick. Thank you very much for tuning in. You are looking live at Fargo South High School here, where in about a half hour on our Irie Insurance pregame show, we'll get to the starting lineups and the opening kick, but also we'll get to the game in and of itself and what we're going to have on tap for you on our pregame show. Before then is here from Fargo South head football coach Tyler Kozel, also here from Dickinson High head coach, that's John Tucksher, as we take a look at the inside matchup between the Midgets and the Bruins. This is the first meeting between these two programs in the postseason since their last meeting was on October 26th of 2012. South beat Dickinson 43-7 in Fargo in the Class 3A quarterfinals. Both teams dating back to last time they have made the playoffs respectively here for the Dickinson Midgets and the Fargo South Bruins. Fargo South back in the playoffs for the first time since 2019. They missed last year, which snapped a streak going back to 1984 in which Fargo South made the playoffs. Every year from 84 to 2019, Fargo South made the postseason, except for last season finishing 3-4. And for the Dickinson Midgets, they're looking for their first playoff win since 2005. When they beat Jamestown in a Class 3A playing game out in the WDA 15-13. Both teams trying to make to the state semifinals. If the Midgets win tonight, it'll be the first time since 2001 for the Fargo South Bruins looking to get back into the postseason and into the semifinals for the first time since 2014. Dickinson coming in off a win against Turtle Mountain on Wednesday of last week. Dickinson 3-1 on the road this season with wins against Williston, Watford City, and Turtle Mountain. They beat Turtle Mountain 22-8 to close out the regular season. For Fargo South, this is a squad that's heading into the postseason hot. The first 7 games of the year, they only scored 59 points, but the last 2 games, a combined 85 points for the Fargo South Bruins. So we'll see if they can continue that momentum here entering this contest with Dickinson. When we come back here on Irie Insurance pregame show, take a look at a little bit more of the matchup between Dickinson and alongside Fargo South, their schedule, and we'll hear from both head coaches. But tonight's presenting game sponsors are friends at Legacy Wealth Management. At Legacy Wealth Management, they're an active member of the Fargo-Moorhead community as they collaborate with educational programs and high school activities. When you talk with the folks at Legacy Wealth Management, they take the time to really get to know you because they believe a major part of their purpose is to build a strong relationship with each client. Whether it's working on retirement or financial plans, be part of the Legacy Wealth Management community today. For more information, go online to legacywealthfargo.com. That's legacywealthfargo.com. Securities and advisory service offered through LPL Financial and registered investment investor, member FINRA SIPC. We'll continue here on our Irie Insurance pregame show. We come back after this. We'll hear from Dickinson head coach, that's John Tucksher, on our pregame show here on your live event.
Hi, I'm Paul, one of the advisors at Legacy Wealth Management. Every Sunday, you have a chance to watch Brian, Brady, and me on Investment Talk Television. Or you can listen to Investment Talk Radio. But most importantly, if you have a question or a concern about your investments, the stock market, or your retirement, you can just pick up the phone and call Legacy Wealth Management. There's no charge. Remember, we're local, experienced, and we work for you.
Advanced Vision Center provides the highest quality, compassionate optometry to ensure that your family enjoys a long, happy, and healthy life. Doctors Jay Nelson and David Prismus and the entire staff at Advanced Vision Center wish the Dickinson Midgets good luck in the playoffs and are thankful for the opportunity to take part in your family's eye care needs. Get a good look today at Advanced Vision Center in Dickinson. For more information, go online to ndadvancedvision.com. That's ndadvancedvision.com. Back on our Irie Insurance pregame show here tonight as we're inching closer to kickoff. It's Fargo South and Dickinson in the quarterfinal round of the 11A postseason. The 4 going up against the 5. And with us now is Dickinson head football coach. That's John Tuchscher. And John, first and foremost, congratulations on making the postseason. I kind of look at you and South in terms of there's been highs, there's been lows, there's been a middle ground. You've both battled through injuries. How has this season gone for Dickinson to make the playoffs way back in August to where we are now the last weekend of October, John?
Yeah, Chase, I think you hit it right on the head there. I think at times we've played some really good football. I know there's definitely some games that we would like to have back. Fought through some injuries, had a lot of guys step up in some important spots when we definitely needed them. And, I think right now going into this game against Fargo South, I think we're probably the healthiest we've been, for at least the last month. And we've had a good couple days of practice this week. And I know our guys are definitely excited for the challenge on Friday night.
You mentioned the challenge against Fargo South. A lot of people out east, when I talk to coaches, they say, hey, there's a lot of speed. Coach Dan Schmeeker starting the season off with the Saints said there's a lot of speed going up against the Bruins in terms of their backfield, in terms of what they provide on the back end on the secondary front. But also, from my point of view, maybe their line has gotten a little bit better every week as well. When you put them on film and kind of scout here, John, who or what kind of stands out for you guys?
Yeah, once again, you got it right. I think the first thing you see when you watch film is just the team speed that they have. And, the thing we've been talking about with our guys as a coaching staff, defensively for us, we're going to have to get 11 guys to the football because they can make a couple guys miss, definitely have 2 or 3 real shifty backs. The quarterback runs well. We got to get 11 guys to the football and make sure that we're assignment sharp. And, it's going to be cliche here, but, especially when you get into the playoffs defensively, you gotta eliminate the big plays. And the last couple of weeks, like you said, I think Fargo South's probably playing the best football they've been playing all year over the last two or 3 weeks. And I think defensively for us, we're going to have to make them put drives together. They I don't want to say rely on the big play, but they are a big play offense. Break off a big run or hit a deep pass. And, I think for us to be successful, we're going to have to, first off, take care of the run game and put them into those obvious pass situations where hopefully, we can maybe get after the quarterback, make him, force him into making a mistake. But, the one thing we definitely have to do is make them put a drive together instead of a, 3-4 play drive where they hit a couple big plays.
John, on the opposite side of the ball for your squad, when the Dickinson Midgets offense is going well, what do you want to see kind of once the game starts, and what's it going to take to get a full 4-quarter game on the offensive side? You kind of hit on defense there, but for your club, what's it going to take on the offensive side here later tonight?
Well, I think the 2 biggest things, when I think about our offense this year, we've been able to move the ball pretty well, especially on the ground. We really want to try to establish a run game, but the thing that we're going to have to do on Friday, like I said, the playoffs just multiply everything. But the turnovers and the penalties, especially the penalties, we usually can get something going offensively and a drive stalls out because it's tough to run offense when it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, those type of things. But yeah, definitely establish our run game with our quarterback. Troy's our leading rusher, and he really is a running back that's playing quarterback for us this year. But he throws the ball well too. And I've kind of gotten away from it, or not gotten away from it, but I need to do a better job kind of mixing in some pass and not being so not making things so obvious what we're trying to do, not going run pass. He throws the ball well. We got some guys that can make some plays for us downfield, and but I think really what it comes down to is we have to be able to be physical up front and establish a run game early.
What would a win mean for this Dickinson program? I know talking with coaches, once they get to this time of the year, some they've been able to get here 2-3 years. Some are like Bismarck Century. They just find themselves year in and year out reload. And, this is their goals. Others, it's been a while since they made the postseason. Others, they made the postseason. They just haven't been able to get over that first round hump. Everyone's a little bit different, John. But for the Dickinson program, what would a win against Fargo South get to the semifinals mean short term, but also long term?
I think anytime that your football program is having success, especially at the level that we're playing at, more people become interested in, more people might come out, and then that's when you start getting the numbers that you want. And one thing we've really talked to our guys about this week is taking advantage of the opportunity, but not taking it for granted. Like we talked about earlier. This is my 9th year, and I think in my first 4 years, we made the playoffs 3 times, and it just became something that you think's going to happen all the time, and that's definitely not the case. And now it's been 5 years since we've been back in the playoffs, so definitely want to take advantage of the opportunity, not take it for granted. But the other thing, and I think our guys are really listening to what we're saying on this one, is let's just not be happy about being in the playoffs. Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've had a great year. I'm really happy with how our guys have played and the work that they put in. But we're definitely, coming down to Fargo and going to, and the goal is to win the football game on Friday night. We're just not content with being in the playoffs.
Final thing for you, John, before we let you go. I know we kind of talked more about the team, your opponent, but who are some X factors? Who are some players? I know we can probably talk about your linebackers with Luke there. Obviously, we mentioned a little bit with Troy in terms of what his role has been on the team. Who are some other guys that have gotten the midgets to this point of the year with a chance to win in the playoffs?
Well, like I said, offensively, when we're trying to establish a run game, we have, Troy runs the ball well. Luke, Sam, those guys run the ball well, but we all know it starts with our guys up front, and they probably don't get the credit that they deserve. Jackson Melvin, Trevon Littlefield, Ian Brost, Evan Davidson, Landon Fichter, Max Wilkinson has been mixed in there, Ethan Halverson. Those guys do a great job on both sides of the ball, really. And I like I said, I think it's going to be important for us Friday night to make sure that we're establishing that run game. And then I think when you think about it, probably our defensive backs and our receivers, like I said, we want to be able to run the ball, but we know as a team that we're going to have to be able to throw the ball. We're going to have to mix some pass in there, some play action stuff in there. And our receivers have done a great job in the passing game when their numbers called, making plays for us downfield. That's guys like Carson Weiler, Chase Selly, Caden Selly, Ty Nelson, Tanner Easterday out of the tight end position. And, I think those same guys too, like I said, then on defense, at corner and safety, because like I mentioned, I really feel like, Fargo South's probably their favorite pass plays to throw deep, right? And our guys have to be able to make sure that we're in good position and we're not giving up those big plays or even those penalties to let them extend drives or anything like that. So I think that's going to be big. That those two groups are going to be big for us on both sides of the ball.
Hey, John, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here against head coach Tyler Coles on the opposite side in the Bruins coming up here later tonight.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
That again, the Dickinson High Midgets football coach, John Tuchscher, 9 years as a head coach for Dickinson, 11 with the program. The Midgets offensively averaging 15 points per contest, while defensively they're giving up 23. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. For all of your insurance requests, visit Irie Insurance online at IrieINS.com. That's IrieINS.com. As we continue after this, we'll hear from Fargo South head coach, the Bruins, the number 4 seed here in the 11A postseason. Talk with head coach coach Tyler Kozel on the matchup with Dickinson, and take a look ahead to our starting lineups and alongside the opening kick just after 7 o'clock tonight here in Fargo as the sun is starting to set, as you can see across the tree line and the foliage, and alongside the autumn night. A perfect night for football. We're going to be right around in the upper 40s to the low 40s as the evening continues here. It's a gorgeous night in Fargo with very little wind as well here in the Red River Valley. Our pregame show continues after this between South and Dickinson. We'll hear from South head coach Tyler Kozel. That is coming up next.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, so no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
Joining us now is Fargo South head coach, that's Tyler Kozel, as the Bruins, the 4 seed in 11A playoffs, hosting the number 5 seed, and that is the Dickinson Midgets. And first and foremost, Tyler, congratulations on making the postseason and also earning that home game. I know anytime we talk to coaches, playing at home is obviously a big deal. Instead of going to a different time zone and out west in Dickinson, you get Dickinson to come to the central time zone and come out east. But how was the end of the season, Tyler, from a 1-4 start to winning in Wahpeton, going 3-1 down the stretch? What kind of changed at the midway point of the season for your club, coach?
Biggest thing is maturity across the board. We had a lot of young players having to step up in different spots. We had some key injuries to guys that had some playing experience. So right now we feel like we're pretty deep. We're healthy. I got all our guys back, ready to roll. And that just took a little bit more time. And we told them from day one that we need to get 1% better every day. Don't look at the results early on. We need to be playing our best football in the end of October, and we feel like we're doing that. So the kids have done a great job of listening to the message, going out and getting better each and every day.
You know, the one thing I took away from your Devils Lake game, because coming in, Devils Lake, obviously, they were a very quality club and opponent, and it seemed like you guys maybe put your best game at that point together against the Firebirds for 4 quarters. Jones back at healthy. Nissen was making some good plays down the field, but it seems like the line play, Tyler, has really came up as of late. What is it about both the offense and defensive line? Because when I've seen Cole Kegba out there, I'm just like, he's only a sophomore. I mean, with that length, it just seems like the line play has played really well as of late, Tyler.
Oh, it's been huge for us. We had again a couple key injuries, and we got hit with a little sickness bug through a few weeks. So we had some kids that were not playing in the game or missed some practices, and it was just trying to get that continuity together. We feel like we have 6, 7 offensive linemen that we are comfortable with going out and playing in a variety of spots, either whether it be guard or tackle. And then on the defensive side, it's the same thing. We've shuffled a few new guys in there, keeping them healthy and keeping them a little bit fresh. And you mentioned a kid like Cole Kegba, and he's done a tremendous job. Last week he had a pick 6, and just his length and athleticism. He's going to be a player for the next couple of years. And the nice thing was we had some growing pains with sophomores at the beginning of the year, and we told them after the Davies game, we're no longer sophomores, we're juniors, because we had to win the final 2. And they've played like it. They've stepped up, and that's a big part of our success is what we're doing up front.
I know you mentioned dealing with some injuries. Your quarterback, Nissen, also played middle linebacker at some times when Jones was out. You've had Sadness back there as well at running back and a dual threat player. But how have you seen from Nissen's maturity from game number 1 to where he's at now in terms of understanding the playbook. Probably the game has slowed down a little bit for him as well. How have you seen him? And obviously having Sadness and Jones in the backfield, that creates a lot of matchups. But for a sophomore, Tyler, how have you liked his progression?
Yeah, Colby's done a great job all summer since taking over. It's never easy for a sophomore to hop in, and especially with Colby going down, that kind of limited our running game early on in the year. We probably threw the ball a little bit more than we needed to at times, and he made some decisions deep down the field. We're trying to make the big play and trying to do a little bit too much. Now he's settled in a little bit, understanding defenses. The game slowed down, like you mentioned, and we've got some good targets for him to throw to when they're getting open, and obviously having a run game behind you too, where they got to worry about. He's got some one-on-one matchups, and he can hit the big one. We got some guys on the outside that can win. So it's all coming together at the right time.
Your opponent here in Dickinson, kind of an up and down season at particular times, probably when you look at them in terms of what they've been having to do, dealing with some injuries, playing a tough West region with Jamestown, Bismarck, Century, and company. What have you seen from Dickinson on film here leading up to this game, Tyler, for the quarterfinal? I know 3-4 defense seems like their linebackers are everywhere on the stat sheet. They're flying to the ball. They got a little bit of a dual threat quarterback there in Berg as well. What's going to be a challenge coming here in the quarterfinals against the Midgets?
Yeah, they're a tough physical football team. I mean, we have similar records, and it could be easily us going out to Dickinson as well. They've got some talented players. We played them 2 years ago when Berg and these seniors were sophomores, and they were playing. I know, talking to Coach Tukes, I'm like, there's some good players on the field now. Now they're seniors, and they've given some teams all they could handle at times this year, and they've got hit with the injury bug a little bit as well. But we're expecting a physical football game. I mean, we've been running the ball well. That's what they want to do, is run the football. And then, like you said, our defense are pretty similar. Their guys, linebackers, fly around and make plays, and that's what our guys have been doing all year. So it's going to be a physical football game on Friday night, and both of us can run the football, and who's ever going to make the least mistakes is going to be coming out on top.
Is there anything you can take away from that 2019 game, Tyler, with some players that are similar on both sides of the ball, or in terms of the scheme for both teams? Can you take anything away from that matchup 2 years ago?
A little bit. Both of us have evolved a lot on offense. There's still some base defensive schemes that we're doing, but we had we were totally seniors on that end. They were playing mostly a lot of our sophomores were in key spots, so kind of switch where we got the sophomores, they got the seniors now. But and I've coached against Coach Tukes in the Shrine game too, and it's so got a little familiarity there, but we've only played twice, didn't get the chance to play last year. But it's going to be a good football game, and they're a well-coached team, so it's going to be fun on Friday.
Final thing for you, Tyler, what would a win mean for this program, for Fargo South, looking to get to the semifinals for the first time since 2014? I know a lot of people, when you think high school football, Fargo South definitely comes to mind in the state of North Dakota with the lineage and history with the Bruins. What would a win do for this program? And as we kind of mentioned, a small senior class, but a really tight senior class with some juniors and a bevy of sophomores that you play throughout the year. What would this do to the trajectory of not just this year, but moving forward?
It's going to be absolutely huge. We told them right after that Davies game where it was rough for us on both sides. We made a lot of mistakes, and we said the last two games were playoff games. So, and they played really well. Now we actually get the chance in the field in the playoffs. We continue to get better and get to another week. Our seniors have done a tremendous job of leading. It's a small group, but our juniors and sophomores have really stepped up into key roles, and they're just getting better and better each and every game. So. We won't graduate a whole lot moving forward, but we just want to keep playing for these seniors this season. And it's great having to host first time since 2013 too. So it's huge for the program. I know we're really excited. I'm just ready for Friday.
Hey, Tyler, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck against Dickinson in the quarterfinals.
Thanks a lot, Chase.
Fargo South head coach Tyler Kolzel with us here on our Irie Insurance pregame show. The Bruins, head coached by Tyler Kolzel, his fifth year as the main man at the helm, a 24-22 overall record in search of their first state semifinal appearance since 2014 here for the Fargo South Bruins, who average 16 points per game, and defensively they give up 18. When we continue here on our pregame show, we'll take a look at the series history dating back to 1987, how South and Dickinson have fared, and they've probably played in the playoffs more than you've thunk in the quarters and the semifinals since since then as well. Also, we'll take a look at some other games across the 11A bracket. All games kick off at 7 o'clock here tonight. One game currently underway. That's in AA. After one quarter of play, Mandan and Fargo Shanley, they were tied at 7 apiece. So we will keep you comprised of the 11A and 11AA bracket going on this evening. 11B and 9B, that's coming up tomorrow, and a game for you on your live event right here. Tomorrow is Central Cass at Hillsborough Central Valley. That game will kick off at 2 o'clock. We'll continue here and put a ball on our Irie Insurance pregame show after this on your live event.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
American Crystal Sugar Company, with their 4,000 plus employees and shareholders, are deeply rooted in the communities of the Red River Valley. They're committed to the sustainability and growth of their business and to improving lives in the places where we work and live by investing in people, our communities, and the future of American Crystal Sugar. Visit crystalsugar.com to learn more about scholarships, grants, volunteerism, donations, and more through the Community Roots American Crystal Giving Program. Growing strong community roots. American Crystal Sugar Company.
As we come back here on our Irie Insurance pregame show, a little series history between Fargo South and the Dickinson Midgets is going back here for both of these programs. It's been a little while since the two teams have met in the postseason. Their last playoff meeting again October 26th of 2012, but they have met since 1987, 4 times in the semifinals and 3 times in the quarterfinals. Fargo South has won all of those matchups. The Bruins have won 8 straight in the series against the Midgets. The last win for Dickinson comes back on August the 29th of 2003, in which Dickinson won 34-28. And the fans, we'd like to thank the Fargo South Bruin Booster Club, a proud supporter of all Fargo South activities. They thank their corporate sponsors of Gate City Bank, Sanford, Midco, and First International Bank for their continued support. To become a Bruin Booster Club member or to find out more information, click on the Activities tab on Fargo South's homepage website and then click on Booster Club. Go Bruins. Tonight, 11A bracket. Again, games kick off at 7 o'clock. The winner of this game will play the winner of the number 8 seed Devils Lake Firebirds at the number 1 seed Bismarck St. Mary's. St. Mary's beat Devils Lake last year in the Class AA quarterfinals, but they didn't play in the regular season this year. The number 6 seed Wahpeton Huskies at the number 3 seed, the Fargo North Spartans. North beat Wahpeton 49-42 in a shootout last week, last week down in Wahpeton. The first playoff meeting between the Huskies and the Spartans since 2007 in the Class 3A play-in round. And the number 7 seed, the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders at the number 2 seed Jamestown Blue Jays tonight. First meeting between the programs since 2012 on the first playoff game between Jamestown and Red River since 1991. As you see the Fargo South Bruins coming onto the field here as we're inching closer to kick off from Fargo South High School. So that is a look at your 11A bracket. 11AA, the number 8 seed Minot High at number 1 seed West Fargo Cheyenne tonight at 7. You have the winner of that game playing the winner of Mandan and Fargo Shanley. Bismarck High at Bismarck Century. And then the number 6 seed Bismarck Legacy at the number 3 seed West Fargo Packers tonight. That game will also kick off at 7 o'clock. And in the final Class 11A poll to finish out the season, St. Mary's 1, Jamestown 2, with Fargo North 3, Wahpeton 4, and Dickinson and Fargo South tied at number 5 to close out the top 5. This has been a Irie Insurance pregame show. Visit Irie Insurance online at irieins.com. When we come back after this, it's the starting lineups and the opening kick tonight in the 11A quarterfinals. It's Fargo South and Dickinson. It's the 4 seed hosting the 5 seed with the winner to advance to the state semifinals. That does it for our pregame show. The opening kickoff is next here from Fargo South High on your live event.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, so no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
We built Irie Insurance with one philosophy: hire great people and provide great service and options. We want to help protect your home, farm, crops, personal, and your businesses. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and since day one, we have followed this golden rule to help protect you. That's why we have so many locations like West Fargo, Devils Lake, Hope, Hillsboro, Mackville, and Towner. To find out more about Irie Insurance, go to irieinsurance.com. Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
This is Chris with RDK Enterprises. We have all heard of supply chain issues and the challenges they bring. As the demand for planting equipment increases, we are trying to be as proactive as possible. RDK has secured a supply of precision planting products and maintenance parts for your planter, hopefully minimizing some of these supply chain issues. If you are planning any upgrades, repairs, or maintenance, give us a call. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
As we come back here, as both teams are getting ready for the starting lineups here tonight between Fargo South and the Dickinson Midgets, as the crowd making some noise, as you're seeing our camera going up and down a little bit here at Fargo South High School. Fargo South, the home team, the Dickinson Midgets, the road squad here. Dickinson, again, 4 wins, 5 losses, 2-2 in the West this season for Fargo South, 4-5 on the year, 4-2 in the East this season here for the Fargo South Bruins. Fargo South averaging 246 yards of offense with 162 yards on the ground and 84 through the air. On the opposite side for Dickinson, averaging 15 points per game, while defensively they're giving up 21. The Midgets, 266 yards of total offense, 178 on the ground with 88 through the air here for Dickinson. Dickinson 3-1 on the road this season. Their last state championship came in 1997, looking for their first semifinal round appearance since 2001 for the Fargo South Bruins, a squad that is 4-5 again on this season. They're looking for their first playoff win since 2014. Their last state championship came in 2013 here for the Fargo South Bruins. Dickinson High, we'll take a look at their starting lineups first. Up front for the Magi. But before then, we'll get to Fargo South here and their offensive unit as they are bringing in the starting lineup right now for Fargo South in the introductions. Christian Skimple at left tackle, Mateo Graywin, the left guard. You have Caden Nielsen, the senior, up front at center, Tyler Christensen at right guard, and Andrew Weber at right tackle. Wide receivers of Seth Cascella, Jack Corbel, George Hansgard that we'll see here tonight, tight end of Reese Kessel. You're going to see Sandis and Kobe Jones in the backfield with Kobe Nissen, the sophomore at 5'10". quarterback here for Fargo South. For the Dickinson Midgets, their defense, left tackle of Jackson Melvin. You have Trayvon Littlefield at left guard, Ian Brose the center, Landon Fichter the right guard, and Evan Davidson at right tackle. Tight end of Tanner Easterday, the 5'10 junior. Wide receivers of Caden Selly, Ben Carlson, and Carson Weiler. The tailback of Luke Mavity, and the quarterback of Troy Berg here for the Dickinson Midgets. Berg, a 5'10 senior at 180 pounds, 640 yards passing with 754 yards through the running right now here for Dickinson. So there's a look at both teams' starters on the offensive side of the ball. We'll get to Dickinson's defense here after the kick. Dickinson will kick off here as Fargo South will receive to open up this game. Wayne Gropentrag is our official here this evening, the main referee, Chase Miller, alongside Chris Kirk running the camera here for 12-minute quarters. Again, opening touchback that would go into the end zone. That would be 1st and 10 for Fargo South at the 20-yard line. So Fargo South and Dickinson here tonight, the 4-5 matchup, the winner to play against the Bismarck St. Mary Saints in Bismarck with a win, or if Devils Lake ends up pulling off the upset out in the capital city here tonight, Fargo South or Dickinson would host respectively. Thank you very much for tuning in to high school athletics here on Your Live Event. You can check out yourliveevent.com for the complete rundown of what we have this weekend. And also make sure you subscribe on YouTube or follow us on social media and alongside on Twitter and Facebook. Putting this one on the tee, getting things ready to go. Mavity here. Luke will put the right-footed kick into this one, end over end. That'll go all the way back to the 5-yard line. Semenko will pick it up there. Goes to far hash at the 20 to the 25-yard line. Semenko then to the 30 and gets popped out of bounds past the 35. Opening kick at 7:06 here on this Friday night. And Fargo South will have great quality field position to open up this contest here as they're going to mark them down at the 39-yard line here for the Bruins with 11:51 left to play in the first quarter. Fargo South, as they'll come out, the sophomore, Kobe Nissen, will do the honors here for the Bruins. Someone's got a little bit better every game. And Coach Tyler Colesville mentioned it way back in August, just kind of the growing pains going through these two particular programs and what they've been able trying to do here with a lot of sophomores playing in the starting lineup. A small, tight-knit senior crew, and then got a little bit of juniors in there as well. Fargo South will come out shotgun formation. Dickinson, they're going to bring 5. Handoff. This goes to Jones, who bounces it to left-hand side off of Skipple and Graywind. Then he gets wrapped up there for a couple yards on the run. As coming in on the tackle, that'll be to about the 43-yard line as you have in on the tackle Darren Aguirre here for the Midgets. So Jones, first carry of the night for 4 yards. Dickinson plays a 3-4 defense up front. Aguirre, the 6'1 junior. Also Ian Brost and Max Wilkinson at nose guard here for Dickinson. We'll get to the linebackers in the secondary after this play. Hansgard, the motion man on a jet sweep here coming to the boundary. Hansgard looking for a little shake and bake, and he's going to get wrapped around and thrown down. Chase Selly, the corner, will come in. It'll be a couple-yard loss there for Hansgard. Makes it 3rd down and long upcoming for the Bruins. Caden Selly, the senior linebacker, alongside with Jackson Melvin, Sam Stillings, and Luke Mavity at linebackers. Chase Selly, the cousin of Caden Selly, at corner with the tackle. Ben Carlson also at the corner spot. Carson Weiler at free safety, and Troy Berg, the 5'10 senior, in 7 games this season on the defensive side with 49 tackles and 3 interceptions for the Midgets. 3rd down and 8 here for Fargo South. They'll need their own 49 for the first. Nissen goes down the field to the tight end. Kessel right at the sticks, and he's got it for an extra yard for the first. 9 yards on the pitch and catch to Kessel across the middle. The 6'3 sophomore at 180 pounds makes his 13th reception of the season. 1st and 10 for the Fargo South Bruins. These quality teams here. And Fargo South and Dickinson, 2 teams that have just kind of found different ways to get to 4-5 on the year. They played some awfully quality opponents in their non-region games as Jones bounces this one to the outside, and sticking them right off the bat was Troy Berg. Then coming over there is Mavity. Mavity, a team-high 70 tackles on the season and 1 sack. They really like to fly around the ball as Jones unable to get anything on that particular rush. 2 carries now for 4 yards. Now Fargo South Lost against Bismarck St. Mary's to start the season. Then they fell against Fargo North. First time the Spartans beat the Bruins in a decade. 28-3 here at home. Here's a handoff. Jones has a crease pass, a 45-40, and making a potential tackle that would have went to the house. Instead, it's Caden Selly for the wrap-up, but not before Jones with the biggest play offensively here for Fargo South. A 14-yard rush, 3 carries, now for 18 yards. The Bruins started the season just 1-4. Their lone win to Valley City, 21-18 in Valley, and then flipped the script, won 3 of their last 4 to get to the number 4 spot here and host a playoff game. The rankings determined on a QRF basis. This one goes Sadness. Sadness going to bounce it up right up the middle past the 30, dragging a midget with him to the 29-yard line. 7 yards on the rush. And the guys up front in gray, Wynn, Nielsen, and Christensen at left guard to right guard right there. Open up the hole for Dorian Sadness, just a sophomore, to get a healthy gain here for Fargo South. Already 3 minutes off the clock on this opening drive that started at their own 39-yard line. Currently at the Dickinson 29, second and short. The Midgets right now with 4 down linemen. They're going to bring 5. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones puts the helmet down, tries to bring Berg with them past the sticks, and they got it for a 4-yard rush. 4 carries for 22 yards right now for Jones. But Fargo South, after they beat Wahpeton in some rainy conditions down in Wahpeton 7-0, they came back, lost to South 33-7, but they had their best game of the season to date against Devils Lake on October the 15th. A 48-7 win, then took care of Grand Forks Central 37-0. So this is a team playing right where you want to at the end of October, and that's your best kind of football. 1st and 10, read option to Jones, and Dickinson brought the run blitz, getting up to the outside immediately for for the Dickinson Midgets on the outside. Trayvon Littlefield, the 6'1 sophomore, forced Jones to come back in, and wrapping him up is Mavity there for the tackle. 2nd down and 10. Same thing can be said for Dickinson, playing through some injuries throughout the year. They lost against the number 2 seed in this tournament in Jamestown to begin the season on August the 27th, 19-7. Lost against Legacy 30-run rip, but then all of a sudden beat Fargo North, who won the East Region 35-21 in their 3rd game of the year for Dickinson. 2nd and 10, shotgun formation. Nissen has some time, steps up, fires down the field. Hansgaard tried to win up for it, and batting that one away is Troy Berg. Good coverage there as they had him blanketed with Chase Selly and Berg. Brings up 3rd down and 10. But back to Dickinson right there. Bismarck Century. This one really got a lot of people across the state to kind of their eyes went to little silver dollars when Dickinson only lost by 3 to Century, 15-12. They came back and won at Wofford City, lost against Bismarck, won against Williston, lost against St. Mary's, and won against Turtle Mountain. So again, a team that hasn't had a winning streak on the year, but they've been just battling through some injuries as well as the Bruins and trying to find themselves in these state semifinals. This one goes up the middle to about the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the rush for Sandness. And talking to John Tucksher early in the week, he said, we feel like we're about as healthy as from the start of the season. Yeah, some guys got a couple of nicks or maybe at 100%, but they feel like this squad is about as healthy as they possibly can be. And right now, what Coach Tucksher said, we can't give up the big play, force Fargo South to kind of matriculate down the field. That's what this drive has done. Already 5 minutes off the clock on the opening drive of the contest. The Bruins face a 4th down. They have a quality kicker, but they're going to be going for it here. 4th down. Nissen rolls right-hand side, sets up a screen. This one to Sandus. Sandus has a blocker in front of him, breaks out of a tackle to the 15, and he has the first to the 13-yard line. Sandus with the reception and a little misdirection there for the Bruins as they roll out the quarterback. Nissen to the right-hand side, come back to the sophomore, and Sandus for the little screenplay, broke out a 1 tackle, able to get the first down. But again, they have a great kicker in Landon Dawkin, who's 7 of 9 on the season, and he's made 2 from 40 yards plus. The Bruins, though, knocking at the door right now. 1st and 10, ball at the Dickinson 12-yard line. Here goes Jones. Jones to the 5. Jones in the end zone. Jones scores! With 6:21 left to play here in the first quarter, the South Bruins strike first here tonight with a Jones 12-yard rushing touchdown. 6 carries for 34 yards with an exclamation point 12-yard rush. there for Jones on the opening drive, and Dockin will come on to do the honors for the point after attempt. Evan Booth, the long snapper here. Dockin on the season, 15 of 17 from the PATs. Clean snap, the hold, the right-footed kick by Dockin. That one's through the uprights. Fargo South goes down the field, able to take nearly 6 minutes off the clock in a 61-yard drive capped off by a Jones touchdown. We're back with kickoff after this here on your live event and see the Dickinson Midgets offense for the first time here tonight.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
As we're back here on your live event, Chris Crick is running the camera. Chase Miller with you here at Fargo South High School. Fargo South going to ask for a much better start to the contest and the game as they were able to get right there and find a score for a touchdown with Mr. Jones. A 12-yard rushing score here for the Fargo South Bruins, and for the Dickinson Midgets, we'll find out how they can answer. Fargo South, very balanced attack that time, able to hit Kessel for a pass when they needed it most on a third down at their own 41, able to hit Sandus on a 4th and 5, so mostly on the ground, did a little bit through the air, enough to continue to get 4, 5, 10 yards down the field and put the scoring touchdown up. Dockin will put this one on the 40-yard line. Here's the end-over-end wobbler that'll bounce at about the 13-yard line and out of play, the first time that we've seen the officials pull out the flag here tonight, as the clock continues to wind right now to about 6:10, and clock continues to roll right now as the officials will see this one come out and bring up a first down here, as this will go to the 35-yard line. Dickinson will have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line to start this football contest for the Midgets offense. Berg gonna get met right in the backfield by Tyler Christensen. That'll be a 2-yard loss. Up front here for Dickinson is Jackson Melvin, Trayvon Littlefield, Ian Brost is the center, the 5'11 senior at 190, Landon Fichter and Evan Davidson at right tackle. Tanner Easterday, the tight end, with wide receivers of Caden Selly, Ben Carlson, and Carson Weiler. Luke Mavati, at tailback, and Troy Berg will get to the Fargo South Bruins defense after this play. 2nd and long for Dickinson, a team that would like to run it right down your throat throughout the contest if you allow them to. Berg with a 3-step drop, steps up, has a one-on-one opportunity down the near sideline. Incomplete at the 25-yard line as they were looking for Carson Weiler, as Fargo South went one-on-one on the outside, and they left Jack Corbel there for the one-on-one opportunity, and he played it well. Brings up 3rd down and long. Fargo South up front, Cole Kagba, a sophomore at 6'1", 175 with 4 sacks on the season. Christian Skipple and Brody Anderson on the interior, with Christensen at defensive end. Sanish, Jones, Thomas in the linebackers, with Corbel, Spy, Cascella, and Will Locker in the secondary. 3rd and 13 here for Dickinson. Berg has to step up. This one going to be a strip sack, and is that going to be picked off, or is it a fumble? Right now the officials are letting the boys play, and Dickinson comes back up with it. But Fargo South unevaded. The quarterback was a defensive end, Tyler Christensen, and the Dickinson Midgets fortunate to get that ball right back. They'll mark it down to the 32, so it's going to be a loss here for Dickinson of 9 yards and makes it 4th and a country mile. Looked like Berg was able to get back on that football, and Fargo South able to start this game off right as you would if you're head coach Tyler Kozel. Get a long touchdown drive, force a 3-and-out, put some pressure on Dickinson and that midget defense. Coming on to punt will be Ty Nelson. Nelson, this will be his 23rd punt of the season. Nice one, end over end. Had some hang time past the 50 and to the 45-yard line. Jack Corbel comes up and fair catches that one for Fargo South. So a 3-and-out to start the contest for Dickinson's offense. Now they'll need their defense to try to come up with a big play here with 4:08 left to play in the first quarter. Fargo South with starting field position of their own 39 and their own 45. You can't complain about that here in the postseason. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, but also our presenting game sponsor of Legacy Wealth Management for bringing you tonight's game between Fargo South and Dickinson. Check out Paul Myers and the crew at Legacy Wealth Management. This one a handoff to Stannis. Stannis just has a little jitterbug of a step there, and Dickinson does a nice job with the combination of tackles. So rotating some guys, and Kanan Krieg was there for the Dickinson Midgets, also up front on the outside for Dickinson, and on the tackle, Darren Aguirre there, the 6'1 junior at 285 pounds. Sandus on the opening drive, 2 carries for 11 yards. He'll stay at 11 yards after that particular play. Goes from the near hash to the far hash now. The Midgets with 4 men at the line. We'll see if Dickinson brings some pressure. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones tries to bounce it out to the right-hand side, and that'll go to about the 49-yard line. Jones, he just gets that crease, puts the foot in the ground, and when he's able to do that, gets a couple of yards and makes a 2nd and 10 to a 3rd and manageable here for the Bruins. Ball, just the nose is almost at that 50-yard line. Jones has been battling a little bit of the injury bug going back to the Fargo North game, and Tyler Kozel didn't play him for a couple of games, just like Coach Took for Dickinson didn't play Troy Berg for a couple of games in non-region contests this year. Jones trying to cut it in, and Jones going to get tackled. He gets inside Dickinson territory, but not enough for the first. Is coming in, Luke Mavity on the tackle, the senior at 5'11". Jones able to get a yard, and that's about it. So the Midgets defense able to build a little bit of a wall there on 3rd down, and for Fargo South, we'll see Donkin coming on. He handles the kickoffs, handles the field goals, and handles the punting duties here for Fargo South this season. Just a junior back at his own 40-yard line. As Weiler is back for Dickinson at his own 20. This one going to be fair catch asked for, and this one hits Weiler, and it's going to be on the ground. Looks like Dickinson is able to come back up on this one. Chase Selly able to come up with it at the 22-yard line. Almost dangerous there as Weiler had his own teammate run into him, so he couldn't quite get his hand on the football. But fortunately for Dickinson, with 2:14 left to play, they will start at their own 22-yard line here after a 3-and-out. Have a chance to come back on this field and try to get something brewing here for Dickinson. Again, a team that has 178 yards per contest rushing and 88 through the air. Fargo South defensively only giving up 18 points per game. This one, direct handoff, or direct snap going to the quarterback there in Berg. Berg able to get past the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Zach Thomason, the outside linebacker, 6'2 junior, in on the tackle for a 4-yard gain, though, for Berg. Dickinson up front with just 1 senior in Bros, 3 juniors of Melvin, Victor, and Davidson, and the sophomore is Trayvon Littlefield, the 6'1 left guard at 265 pounds. 2nd down here for Dickinson. Ball spotted at the near hash at the 26. Fargo South with 1 safety over the top. Trips to the left-hand side for Dickinson. This will be a handoff. Mavity able to get past the 30-yard line, close to a first, as he's rolled down at about the 31, a yard shy of the first down. Mavity with a 6-yard gain here for Dickinson makes it 3rd and very manageable at the 1. Dickinson missed the playoffs in 2016 after finishing 5-4. They made the postseason in 2015, losing to Cheyenne in the quarterfinals 32-20, a 7-3 season there for Dickinson. 3rd down and short here for the Midgets. They'll come out with that power formation. Berg looking for a lane. Fargo South able to bounce him out and come up with a tackle in the backfield. In for Fargo South, Jack Corbel able to come in and make the shoestring tackle. And that time, Berg had nowhere to go to the outside, had to kind of plateau to the near boundary, and a one-on-one opportunity there for the Bruins, and Fargo South able to come up with that tackle and stick for a loss. That'll be about a 2-yard loss there for Berg. And now Dickinson will have their 2nd punt of the contest, as Nelson will come out here in the waning seconds of the opening quarter. Nelson, right-footed kick. Good kick all the way back. That'll send Hansgar back to his own 34-yard line. He's able to get to about the 38 for a 4-yard rush. A 3-and-out, back-to-back punts for Dickinson. This will be the third possession of the first quarter for the Bruins. They've had great starting field position here tonight. They're on 39, they're on 45, and now they're on 38-yard line. As Fargo South, and you look at their players up front, 2 seniors in Skipple and Nelson, 2 sophomores of Weber and Graywind, and the lone junior on the line is Christensen. Very young team. Last time these two teams met was in 2019. Then South had a bevy of seniors, and the Bergs of the world for Dickinson, they were the sophomores. We'll talk about that after this play here. Shotgun formation for Nissen. Nissen steps up and one-hops the intended receiver to the outside there in Jack Corbel. Asked both coaches earlier in the week in Tyler Kozel and Coach Took for Dickinson about how much can you take away from that 2019 meeting game number 1, and they said, sure, you can look at some schemes, but the players are just different. A lot of these Bruin players that are on the field right now didn't play in that contest, or they were underclassmen. On the opposite side for Dickinson, you've seen some of those guys just mature and grow a little bit more, and schematically, you're maybe doing 1 or 2 different things than what you did 2 years ago. So you went back and looked at it, but maybe didn't take too much from it. This is a handoff off the middle. Jones able to break out of 1 tackle, almost gets the first. Able to break out of the wrap-up of Caden Selly, spun at the 43, dives past the 45, and gets an 8-yard rush. Makes it a 3rd down and short when we come back after 1 quarter play here from Fargo South High. It's the number 4 seed, the Bruins 7, the number 5 seed, Dickinson Midget scoreless. 3rd and short coming up after this here on your live event.
Hi, I'm Paul, one of the advisors at Legacy Wealth Management. Every Sunday, you have a chance to watch Brian, Brady, and me on Investment Talk Television. Or you can listen to Investment Talk Radio. But most importantly, if you have a question or a concern about your investments, the stock market, or your retirement, you can just pick up the phone and call Legacy Wealth Management. There's no charge. Remember, we're local, experienced, and we work for you.
Advanced Vision Center provides the highest quality, compassionate optometry to ensure that your family enjoys a long, happy, and healthy life. Doctors Jay Nelson and David Prismus and the entire staff at Advanced Vision Center wish the Dickinson Midgets good luck in the playoffs and are thankful for the opportunity to take part in your family's eye care needs. Get a good look today at Advanced Vision Center in Dickinson. For more information, go online to ndadvancedvision.com. That's ndadvancedvision.com. As we come back here on your live event, Fargo South and Dickinson 7-0 Bruins as we head to the second quarter of play. That first quarter was just about 20 minutes long in terms of actual game time after Fargo South again had their opening drive. Goes 61 yards, capped off by a Kobe Jones 12-yard rushing touchdown to make it the lone score. 7-0 here after the opening 12 minutes. Bruins will come out 3rd down and short. They will need the 48 for the first. Shotgun formation. Jones gets men in the backfield, and then he goes nowhere. It's going to be a yard loss. The defensive end for Dickinson on the far side able to force Jones to come back in and then wrap him up. Good job on the outside there. Ian Brost, the defensive end, the 5'11 senior, forced Jones to have to stop, cut back in, and then Dickinson up front with Wilkinson. Stillings able to wrap up Jones for a loss. So this will be a punt upcoming here for Fargo South. Dawkins stands back at his own 30-yard line. For the Midgets, he got Selly, that's chased at the 35, and then alongside with him with Weiler. This one going to go all the way back. Weiler puts his heels to the 14, fumbles the ball for a second, and it pops right back to him. So for the Dickinson Midgets, able to get that one. So a couple 3-and-outs here after the 61-yard touchdown drive by Fargo South. For Dickinson, they'll have their 3rd possession of the contest. This one all the way back at their own 14-yard line. If you take a look at field position real estate, Dickinson at their own 35, 22, and now 14-yard line here for the Midgets to start. Out-of-town scoreboard, end of the first quarter, Devils Lake 7, Bismarck St. Mary's 7 out in the capital city. Shotgun formation here. Troy Berg will come out with trips in near side. They're looking for the quick screen. As they do, they give it to Chase Selly. Selly, a little block, gets to the 20-yard line, then gets wrapped up for a healthy gain of 8 yards. Berg's first completion of the night. This one goes to Chase Selly. It makes it second down and manageable here. Troy Berg came in with 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season, 640 yards passing in the regular season, playing in 7 games for the Midgets. Trips come to the near side here and 1 to the right-hand side. Fargo South with 1 safety over the top. This one going to go right up the middle, and Fargo South is ready for that one as it gets to the line, and that's about it. Bruins have done really well here tonight so far as Berg gets wrapped up for maybe a yard loss. They'll actually mark it. Makes it 3rd down and short upcoming here for the Midgets. Haven't seen the big play by either team here tonight for Dickinson. We've seen a couple of nice runs. Mavity had a 6-yard run. Berg with the 8-yard pass there. For Fargo South, a couple of double-digit yard plays, but everything kind of been 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Fargo South showing pressure right up the gap with 6 men at the line. They're going to bring 6. Berg fires a missile that gets to about the 25-yard line, and the second effort got it. Ben Carlson, the junior, was short, got the second effort enough for the first to get past the 25 to the 26 for a 5-yard gain. Berg 2 for 3 through the air for 13 yards, and nice job by Carlson to keep moving the feet to get that first down here for Dickinson. Dickinson with their first down of the contest as they'll come out here with the opportunity trying to answer down right now by 7 here in quarter number 2. 1 wide receiver split on either side. Carson Weiler, the 6'1 senior, to the near side. Mavity playing the tight end spot, and they're looking for the little counter, and they give it to Mavity. Mavity to the 30-yard line, now to the 35, and he's throwing Bruins down with them to about the 36. So a little wrinkle there for Dickinson. He bring the running back out, put him at the tight end spot, motion him across the field, then bring him on a counter, and they'll give him enough for the first. Mavity with a 10-yard rush, back-to-back first downs here by the Midgets, and Dickinson right now has a 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Dickinson kicked off to start the ball game as well, so just a mental note as we get closer to the half. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining here in half number 1. Bruins, 8-man front. Make that a 4-man front, 8 men in the box. This one gets bounced out to the outside here for Dickinson to about the 39-yard line for the Midgets. On the run, that'll be Sam Stillings, the 5'10 junior, for his first carry of the night. And now what we're seeing from Dickinson is a couple yards per run on this contest, able to break it out to the outside and try to get around those defensive ends of Christensen, Kagball, those outside linebackers here of Fargo South. 1 wide receiver split on either side as you have Stillings to the right-hand side of Berg. And we're going to have a penalty. We've only had 2 of those in the contest, 1 on Fargo South. As we'll have a false start here on Dickinson. This will be their first penalty of the evening. As we'll have a 2nd down and 11 now for Dickinson. The Midgets, a squad that just kind of trying to find their rhythm. Fargo South found their rhythm in the second half of the season. Dickinson trying to get their first back-to-back wins of the year after beating Turtle Mountain last Wednesday. Had some time in between games to get healthy and get ready for South. Berg looking for the home run ball down the field. Oh, and he overthrows his man Carson Weiler at the 30-yard line. Berg will loft that one out 40 yards, incomplete. 7:49 left to play here in the first half. Berg, you get him to the roll to the right-hand side. We've seen him able to chuck the football down the field and put a little zip on it. And a guy that kind of was their main running back and someone who's maybe not at 100% healthy, but about as healthy as he's been since the start of the season. The Midgets will spread them out. Twins both to the left and right. We'll see if Fargo South brings some pressure. Currently a 4-down lineman. They fake the jet sweep. Berg has some time to throw. Pocket collapsing now. Berg reverse pivots, goes to the outside. Berg at the 30, to the 40, has the first down past the sticks. And he gets the first on a backyard broken play, enough for a 12-yard rush. That one is going to be 5 carries for 11 yards. The pocket collapsed, and Berg exactly knew what to do with it here for Dickinson. Able to get the first down, the 3rd first down of this drive. The Midgets have yet to pass midfield on an offensive play, but right now they are humming. This drive started back at their own 14-yard line. Handoff, Mavity trying to bounce off Bruins, does off a 1, does off a 2, then gets broken down and taken down by Kobe Jones, and ball spotted right at the 50-yard line for a 3-yard rush. 3 carries for 19 yards. The winner of tonight's contest again will play St. Mary's or Devil's Lake. Both teams hoping for the Firebirds to pull off the upset, because then either South or Dickinson would host a semifinal round game. The Dakota Bowl will be on November the 12th with the 11A contest at 2:30 in that state championship game. 2nd down and 7. They'll mark it inside Bruin territory at the 49. Berg has some time to throw. Now rolls to the near side, looking down the field. Instead of a tuck and run, gets to the 45 and slithers his way past the 43 to the 42, a 7-yard rush. Troy Berg right now is showing you the dual threat opportunity. 18 yards passing, 18 yards rushing, 13 yards passing, 6:48 off the clock, and the Midgets started this one with their 11:16 left in the second. Very reminiscent to Fargo South on their opening drive. Able to get 5 yards here, 10 yards there. Keep in front of the chains and not put yourself in a 3rd and long, even though Berg was able to run for one and get 12 yards. They split them out, 2 wide receivers either side. As they fake the jet sweep to Selly, come back with Mavity, and Fargo South was ready for that one up front here for the Bruins. Good job of getting home with Christian Skipple, the 6'4" senior defensive tackle, able to get up the middle there and able to bring down the running back in Mavity for no gain. Kind of what you figure coming in, both teams in terms of their offense and defense. Defense, they try to limit the big play, keep everything in front of them. Offensively, both teams trying to find their rhythm. South, without question, has the last 2 weeks against Devils Lake and Grand Forks Central, scoring over 30 points against the Knights, over 40 points the last time they were home against the Firebirds. But right now, 2nd and 10. Berg going to keep it, looks for a quick screen as he finds Chase Selly on the outside, and Selly trying to get out of a tackle, but bringing him down for Fargo South is Neomucha Manza, the 5'10" senior on the outside, able to come down with that one and just kind of brought him down to the turf at the 41 as Selly was trying to break out of that tackle. Makes it a 3rd down and a long 8 here for Dickinson. Selly, his 2nd catch of the evening. As currently he's got 2 catches for 10 yards, and you wonder here for Dickinson, where is 4th down and go for it? Currently 3rd down and 8. They need the Bruin 32. Berg sets up the screen. That was going to be batted down. Cole Kagba got enough of the hand on that one for the incompletion. Kagba came in, got to Berg, and that's going to be incomplete here in 4th. It looks like a punt by Dickinson. Good job by the sophomore coming in on the outside, put his hand up and got enough of that one by the lineman here for Fargo South. If that was going to be a completion, there would have been some daylight in front of him. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the first half, as Dickinson will come on for the punt. Ty Nelson, his 3rd punt of the contest. Nelson puts this one in the air. Fargo South asking for a fair catch at the 13, and they'll come up with it. A punt of 27 yards. Hansgaard able to come down with it. 4:57 left to play here in the half, as Fargo South will have another opportunity to come on the field and put some points on the board. Fans would like to thank the Bruin Booster Club, a proud supporter of Fargo South activities, and their corporate sponsors of Gate City Bank, Sanford, Midco, and First International Bank for their continued support. To become a Bruin Booster Club member or to find out more info, click on the Activities tab on the Fargo South homepage website and click on Booster Club and go Bruins. 1st and 10 for Fargo South on their 4th drive of the contest. This will be a handoff. Sadness can't get back right to about the line. A shoestring tackle coming there by Berg. Berg just is everywhere on the field right now for Dickinson. 2nd and 10. If Sadness was able to get over that shoestring tackle, he would have had some daylight in front of him. Instead, good job by Berg to wrap him up and bring him down. 2nd and 10 here for Fargo South. 4 carries for 11 yards here for Sadness. And for Fargo South, it's that old adage, you want to try to get something cooking here, take some time off the clock and not allow Dickinson to get the ball back. On the opposite side, Dickinson, as they will get the ball to start the second half, you want to 3 and out and try to get your best starting field position of the game. Nissen has all day to throw, then one hops it to Jones, looking down the field for Kessel, who was covered nicely, and then looking to the outside as well, kind of read his options, then just threw it in the turf, and the clock will stop with 4:08 left to play here in the first half. Both teams again with all 3 timeouts remaining. Nissen through the air, 2 of 5 for 17 yards. The Bruins are led on the ground with Kobe Jones, 10 rushes for 47 yards and a touchdown. And there's the first timeout here of the contest, this one by Fargo South. We'll break with them. 4:08 left to play in the opening half. It's Fargo South 7, Dickinson scoreless. 3rd and long upcoming here when we come back for the Bruins.
Hi, I'm Paul, one of the advisors at Legacy Wealth Management. Every Sunday, you have a chance to watch Brian, Brady, and me on Investment Talk Television. Or you can listen to Investment Talk Radio. But most importantly, if you have a question or a concern about your investments, the stock market, or your retirement, you can just pick up the phone and call Legacy Wealth Management. There's no charge. Remember, we're local, experienced, and we work for you.
Advanced Vision Center provides the highest quality, compassionate optometry to ensure that your family enjoys a long, happy, and healthy life. Doctors Jay Nelson and David Prismus and the entire staff at Advanced Vision Center wish the Dickinson Midgets good luck in the playoffs and are thankful for the opportunity to take part in your family's eye care needs. Get a good look today at Advanced Vision Center in Dickinson. For more information, go online to ndadvancedvision.com. That's ndadvancedvision.com. As we're back here on your live event, Fargo South after their first timeout will have a 3rd and 10. Chase Miller with you alongside Chris Crick here late in the first half. The Bruins, after an opening drive that went 61 yards, back-to-back punts and a couple of 3 and outs, now on the verge of another 3 and out unless they get the first down here. Kessel gets it to, looking for Kessel, that is Nissen to Kessel, but Kessel coming on a deep crossing route, just threw it behind him a little bit there, couldn't get the catch, and if he does make the catch, he would have a little bit of room for the yards after to try to get to the 23 instead. It'll be a quick, very quick 3 and out, only 45 seconds come off the clock, and Fargo South will have to punt for the 3rd time here tonight. Dickinson will have their 4th possession of the contest upcoming, as Fargo South and Dockin will kick this one at his own 1-yard line. Here's the right-footed, nice-looking kick by Dock, and that'll take Berg all the way back to the 50 and at the 49-yard line here for Dickinson. 3:57 left to play in the first half. Dickinson a chance to go down the field and tie this one up. On the opposite side for Fargo South, trying to force a little bit more of a defensive stand one more time and get off the field and get to half with a 7-0 lead. Also tonight again, Devils Lake at St. Mary's, Wahpeton at North, and Red River at Jamestown in the 11A bracket. Berg, read option, and Berg will tuck and run past the 40, has the first. He put that one in the belly of Mavity for about as long as you possibly could go, and then book it out, and then able to go to the outside. Defensive end cracks down, and that's just a read option there as Berg able to get the first for 11 yards. 7 carries now for 35 yards for the senior quarterback. 1st and 10 Dickinson, as we're able to get where they were their last drive before they had to punt right at about the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 will also go out of bounds and stop the clock here again in high school. If you get the first, you'll get out of bounds, particularly. Clock will stop, move the chains. Motion man, that's Easterday going left to right across the formation, and a timeout here by the Dickinson sideline will break as well as the play clock was nearly down to 0. First timeout granted by Dickinson here in the first half. 1st and 10 when we come back here on your live event. On your out-of-town scoreboard, Bismarck St. Mary's leads Devils Lake 21-7. 5 minutes left to play in the first half in 11A and 11AA. Bismarck Century all over Bismarck High, 28-0 with 5 minutes left to play in the opening half. We'll get to some more scores upcoming here on our halftime show. Dickinson, after the timeout, will handle it first down and 10, as they'll bring Mavity in the backfield. Then Berg will just keep it, and we're going to have a flag. Thomason comes in on the tackle right at about the 38-yard line. The flag all the way back at the 44-yard line. This might be a spot foul, and it looks like it'll be holding on Dickinson. So you will move it back here for head coach Tyler Colson. We'll replay first down. Can you go from the spot of the foul at the 45-yard line? So that one almost really is a 15-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard one by the time you mark it off and take the 5 yards there from where the actual infraction ensued. Second penalty of the night for Dickinson for 20 yards. Fargo South had an opening kickoff that was kicked out of bounds for their first one of the game after scoring a touchdown. So now first and a country mile here for Dickinson. Ball back at their own 46-yard line. They will need to get to the Bruin 29 for the first. What you have in the playbook for first and 25, we'll find out. Twins both left and right. Berg in the gun. Fargo South will bring 4. Berg rolls right-hand side. Gets the numbers. Now he's going to throw it down the field and almost completed at the 30-yard line as Chase Selly trying to make a Superman catch at the 30. Makes it second down and long. Berg right now through the air is 3 of 7 for 15 yards passing here for Dickinson. Leading rusher for 7 carries for 35 yards. And Mavity 4 carries for 19 yards respectively here for Dickinson. Go out west, you get a little of the orange and black with the Midgets and the Williston Coyotes. Very fitting as Halloween on Sunday night for Vikings fans out there of Minnesota. Well, Dak Prescott, player not for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll find out more at U.S. Bank Stadium on Sunday Night Football. Here, though, Friday Night Lights. This one, Mavity up the middle, leaps forward for about a 2-yard gain, but the Bruins up front respectively. You had Skipple and Anderson playing well, and then you got the main man there in Kobe Jones playing at middle linebacker, about a 2-yard gain, and that's it for Mavity. 5 carries for 21 yards. Third down and long upcoming here for Dickinson. 2:38 left to play in the first half. And this is one of those where 15 seconds left here on the play clock. I just wonder if Dickinson will let this one go all the way down to 0 and then run a play here and take their second timeout of this first half. And that looks like what they're going to do. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. And there's a timeout by Dickinson. We'll break with them. Third and long upcoming, nearly at the 2 minutes left to play in our opening half. It's Dickinson 7, Dickinson scoreless, Fargo South 7. Dickinson will have it third and long when we come back here on your live event.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields. So no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
The Lisbon.
As we're back here after the timeout, third down and long upcoming for the Dickinson Midgets. As they'll split out, trips to the right, one to the near sideline. That's Carson Weiler. Weiler, the 6'1 senior. Looks like he'll be on one-on-one opportunity. See where Dickinson tries to drop. They'll flip it into the backfield. That's actually going to be a rush for Mavity, as that was a lateral, and Mavity's unable to get much on that one. Good job by Fargo South to break that one out, and head coach Tyler Colzo for the Bruins, he wants to take a timeout here and stops the clock with 2:08 left to play here in the first half. So that one's actually going to be a rush that goes right back to the line, and that is about it here. As we'll keep it here with 2:08 left to play. This will allow us to thank all of our fine sponsors of alongside Irie Insurance, Legacy Wealth Management, also Advanced Vision Center out in Dickinson. Thank you very much for being part of our broadcast here tonight. And any of those sponsors that you see throughout the rotating logos next to our bottom of the scoreboard, or for any of those commercials, make sure you patronize those sponsors, because without them, Chris running camera, myself, Chase Miller, would not be able to be here. Thank you very much. Your live event, part of R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Going to have a game tomorrow in 11B quarterfinal. Central Cass at Hillsborough, Central Valley in Hillsborough at 2 p.m. Jake Berkmeyer will have the call for you on that one at 2. And then a reminder, the Region 1 volleyball tournament already begins their playing rounds on Friday, November the 5th, with the quarterfinals on Monday, November the 8th in Castleton. We'll also have a EDC volleyball quarterfinal round matchup here on your live event. So 4th down upcoming for the Dickinson Midgets as they'll come on and punt with Nelson. Nelson stands back at his own 34-yard line. Clean snap. Nelson able to get this one off. This one's going to be short. Bounces at the 31-yard line. Bruin had to try to get out of the way there, and Nayo on that was able to get to about the 32. So Fargo South forces the 4th punt for Dickinson here tonight. And the Bruins will have their 5th possession of the first half with $1:59 left to play, and they'll start the drive at their own 32-yard line. Nissen will come out and lead the Bruins here at the shotgun for the sophomore. Ball right between the hashes. Dickinson up front, they've done a pretty nice job. Darren Aguirre's brought some pressure. Wilkinson just able to eat up a couple of guys on the interior and let the backers fly around here for the Midgets. This one handoff. Well, this one goes right up Main Street. Kobe Jones past the 10 and gets over a midget, able to get to about the 42. Jones was met head on there by a Dickinson defender. And that one is going to be Ben Carlson, who got a little bit more of the worst of it. And Jones able to get that one for a 9-yard. They're going to give him the first, so they'll give him a 10-yard gain there for Jones. Clock will stop as they'll move the chains. 11 carries for 57 yards. 1 timeout remaining for both Dickinson and Fargo South here in this first half as the clock continues to wind now. Trips to the left, one in the near sideline here. Shotgun formation for Nissen. Nissen steps up, fires, looks down the field, incomplete to Kessel. Makes it a 2nd down and 10. Kessel right now through the air. Just 2 of 7 for 17 yards. Those 2 completions came back in the first drive of the contest. 2nd down and 10 now for Fargo South, and we'll see where they go here as the clock stops with 92 seconds left to play in the opening half. Now their team has really found too much rhythm on the offensive side of the ball after Fargo South goes 61 yards for the score. Jones with a 12-yard rushing touchdown since then. It's been tough to come by here. Handoff, this one goes to Jones, and Jones going to get met at about the 44-yard line. Caden Selly will wrap him up and bring him down. Also in on the tackle, Luke Mavity makes it 3rd down and 8 here for the Bruins. And right now, for head coach Tyler Kozel, play clock down to 23. Game clock with 65 seconds left to play in this first half. And Fargo South will come out in a shotgun formation. They'll go trips to the left-hand side now. Kessel will motion to the near sideline here. Play clock now down to 8 as Kessel lines up on the right side of the line. Dickinson, they'll rush 4. Nissen has some time, steps up in the pocket, going to run for the first down. He's going to get met, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Not enough for the first down as the Dickinson Midgets will come up with the stick, and that's going to be Ben Carlson, the corner, as Nissen is able to get to about 5 yards on that particular play for a 4th down, but well shy of the first, and the clock stops at 41 seconds left to play here in this opening half. So Fargo South, it looks like, will have to come out for their 4th punt of the contest with Dockin. We'll see if Dickinson tries to bring some pressure and block this punt. Dockin able to get this one off as Berg is back at his own 15-yard line for the return. Berg's trying to set up a block, has a lane. Look out, 30 to the 40. Berg to the 50. Can anyone catch him? Berg gets pushed out of bounds by Dockin at the 30-yard line. What a play. 55-yard punt return for Berg makes it 1st and 10 for Dickinson, knocking at the door with 26 seconds left to play here in half number 1. Best starting field position of the contest here for Dickinson. The lone thing that you're got to make sure your heads up on, you only have one timeout remaining. Dickinson right now, we'll see what they do with Berg. Just a great little find, and more importantly for Berg, he just set up his blocks. Able to return at the 15, found a little lane, and then he was able to bounce it to the near sideline here for Dickinson. Shotgun formation. Mavety to his right. Berg steps up, fires. This one's going to be picked off by Fargo South. The Bruins and Jack Corbel. Corbel has a host of Bruins in front of him at the 50. Now to the 40. Look out, 30. Corbel cuts it back in at the 25 to the 20, and he's taken out of bounds there. So one big play followed by another big play. Berg threw that one up, and that one went right to the corner, and Jack Cornwell just playing a deep zone and goes down the opposite end of the field. That was a 65-yard return to the 20, and you got a great kicker in Landon Dockin again, and this is well within range. And Fargo South with one timeout for them now. They have a chance to run one play, either try to get some yardage or try to throw one in the end zone and take a crack and try to get 6. So we saw a little trick, and there's your treat. After a punt return for a big play for Dickinson, they come back and kind of got a sour apple there on the pass from Berg as Corbel was able to bring it down the field. What does Fargo South do with 10 seconds here left in half number 1? Nissen, 3-step drop, looks down the middle for Kessel. That one's going to be picked off, and this one goes to the secondary. Weiler got the hit, got his left hand up. Troy Berg will come up and get the pick. They were looking for Kessel, and now monkey see, monkey do. You get an interception going the other way. The opening drive of the game was fun, and then we saw both teams kind of in a stalemate. Then we see the last 3 plays of a 50-plus punt return, a pick, and a pick. So now all of a sudden 3 seconds left to play in the first half. And Dickinson just looks like they'll come out, put this one to the knee, and we'll get to the half and readjust, and everyone can kind of take a big breath after the last couple of plays here on the field. Well, we talked about looking for the big plays, and we saw them there by both teams. 1 on special teams, 2 on defense, 7-0 Fargo South as Dickinson will come out, put this one to the turf with the knee, and that'll do it for the first half. After one half of play, it's Fargo South 7, Dickinson scoreless. Our halftime show is coming up next here on your live event.
Hi, I'm Paul, one of the advisors at Legacy Wealth Management. Every Sunday, you have a chance to watch Brian, Brady, and me on Investment Talk Television. Or you can listen to Investment Talk Radio. But most importantly, if you have a question or a concern about your investments, the stock market, or your retirement, you can just pick up the phone and call Legacy Wealth Management. There's no charge. Remember, we're local, experienced, and we work for you.
Advanced Vision Center provides the highest quality, compassionate optometry to ensure that your family enjoys a long, happy, and healthy life. Doctors Jay Nelson and David Prismus and the entire staff at Advanced Vision Center wish the Dickinson Midgets good luck in the playoffs and are thankful for the opportunity to take part in your family's eye care needs. Get a good look today at Advanced Vision Center in Dickinson. For more information, go online to ndadvancedvision.com. That's ndadvancedvision.com.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, So no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you. Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
As we're back here on your live event at the half, 7-0 Fargo South over the Dickinson Midgets. Here at the half, let's take a look at some of the first half numbers and recap what happened in that first particular half. And it was an opening drive score for Fargo South, 61-yard score that went down the field, and with 6:21 left to play in the first half, Kobe Jones at a 12-yard rushing touchdown. Daka with a point after attempt to make it 7-0. Since then, no one has scored after the opening drive of the game. For Dickinson, they have 3 punt, make that 4 punts, an interception, and then able to get to the half. For Fargo South, a touchdown, 4 punts, and an interception here for the Fargo South Bruins. Numbers, not too much in terms of totals, more of a defensive-minded game, a number of 3 and outs. But for Fargo South, led by Kobe Jones right now, 12 carries for a season, make it a team high and game high 59 yards and a touchdown. You have Sandness, 4 carries for 11 yards. Nissen, 1 for 5, and then Hansgaard, 1 for -2. Through the air, Nissen is 2 of 8 for 17 yards and an interception in the first half here for Fargo South. Kessel, 1 reception for 9 yards, and then Sandness, 1 reception for 8 yards. For Fargo South, 1 penalty in the first half and 0 turnovers. For the Dickinson Midgets, they're led by Berg with 7 carries for 35 yards. Troy Berg, the senior here for Dickinson, also has 3 of 8 for 15 yards and an interception for the Midgets. Mavity, 6 carries for 21 yards. Stillings has 1 for 3. Through the air, Chase Selly, 2 receptions for 10 yards, and Carlson, 1 for 5. Dickinson currently with 65 yards of total offense, 50 on the ground. The Dickinson Midgets, 2 penalties for 20 yards and 0 turnover, make that 1 turnover, and there is 1 turnover as well for Fargo South there late after the first half. For Fargo South, 90 yards of total offense, 73 of those coming right now through the air. When we come back after this, we'll take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard and we'll get you ready for the 11B. That is quarterfinals upcoming tomorrow across the state of North Dakota in 9-man and 11-man football as well at the half. It's Fargo South 7, Dickinson scoreless here on your live event.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
American Crystal Sugar Company, with their 4,000 plus employees and shareholders, are deeply rooted in the communities of the Red River Valley. They're committed to the sustainability and growth of their business and to improving lives in the places where we work and live by investing in people, our communities, and the future of American Crystal Sugar. Visit crystalsugar.com to learn more about scholarships, grants, volunteerism, donations, and more through the Community Roots American Crystal Giving Program. Growing strong community roots. American Crystal Sugar Company.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
Back here on your live event halftime show, and this game is brought to you in part by your friends at Legacy Wealth Management. At Legacy Wealth Management, they're an active member of the Fargo Moorhead community as they collaborate with educational programs and high school activities. When you talk with the folks at Legacy Wealth Management, they take the time to really get to know you because they believe a major part of their purpose is to build a strong relationship with each client, whether it's working on retirement or to financial plans to be part of the Legacy Wealth Management community today. They want to make sure they are taking care of you one-on-one. For more information, go online to legacywealthfargo.com. Securities and advisor services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC. Taking a look at the half, again here 7-0 Fargo South. In 11 AA quarterfinals, Shanley leads Mandan 28-20 heading to the fourth quarter. Play there for the Deacons. Also in 11 AA Bismarck Century right now, no problem over Bismarck, 28-0 in that opening half. In 11A, Devils Lake playing stingy. The number 8 seed at the number 1 seed, Bismarck St. Mary's. St. Mary's right now leads at 21-13 over Devils Lake after one half of play in this contest in postseason football. As we take a look at some other scores that are trickling in right now, Jamestown and Red River, 21-0. The Blue Jays over the Grand Forks Rough Riders at the half. The winner of that contest will play the winner of Fargo North and alongside Wahpeton, the winner of that game in the other 11A semifinals. And West Fargo right now over Bismarck Legacy, 13-0 at the half in 11 AA, and West Fargo Cheyenne rolling Minot after 2 quarters of play. It's the number 1 seed in 11 AA, West Fargo Cheyenne 22, Minot scoreless. So that's a look at your out-of-town scoreboard as some of the scores continue to trickle in. We'll pass those along throughout this second half of play here for high school football. Also, one other score, Fargo North at the half leads Wahpeton 14-6. So the Spartans right now over the Huskies 14-6 right now at the half. When we come back after this, we'll get ready for the second half from Fargo South and Dickinson. Chase Miller with you alongside Chris Crick. It has been really a slobber knocker. It's been that kind of a football game with both of these teams right now. 65 yards of total offense for Dickinson, 90 yards of total offense for Fargo South. It's been defense. That's been the word. 1 turnover apiece. The question is, will the Jones 12-yard rushing touchdown be enough for Fargo South, or can Dickinson find a way to come back in this one here in the second half, tie one up, and possibly even take a lead? We'll find out after this. Here it's high school football 11A quarterfinals. Glad you're tuning in on your live event.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, so no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
We built Irie Insurance with one philosophy: hire great people and provide great service and options. We want to help protect your home, farm, crops, personal, and your businesses. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and since day one, we have followed this golden rule to help protect you. That's why we have so many locations like West Fargo, Devils Lake, Hope, Hillsboro, Mackville, and Towner. To find out more about Irie Insurance, go to IrieInsurance.com. Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
This is Chris with RDK Enterprises. We have all heard of supply chain issues and the challenges they bring. As the demand for planting equipment increases, we are trying to be as proactive as possible. RDK has secured a supply of precision planting products and maintenance parts for your planter, hopefully minimizing some of these supply chain issues. If you are planning any upgrades, repairs, or maintenance, give us a call. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
Let's get real. You're ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. So get ready for the University of Minnesota Crookston. With more than 30 majors, minors, and certificates, you'll earn a University of Minnesota degree in a close-knit community where faculty become friends and friends feel like family. And to get a degree that can make a difference, you don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, ready.
If you're an Ada business, you may be eligible to receive 1% interest loans from the Ada EDA. This 1% interest loan is available for business expansion, business renovation, business improvements, and new businesses in Ada. Visit or contact Ada City Hall to receive additional information at how your business may be eligible to receive 1% interest loans from the Ada EDA. Contact the City of Ada, 784-5520, or visit adamn.gov.
As we come back here on your live event, Fargo South at the half, 7-0 over the Dickinson Midgets in high school football here tonight. The Fargo South Bruins and Dickinson Midgets both at 4-5 on the season, entering play here this evening. Last time Dickinson finished with a above 500 record was in 2016. They missed the playoffs. They made the playoffs last in 2015, trying to look for their first postseason win since 2005. Dickinson head coach by John Tuchscher, his 11th year with the program and 9th as a head coach here for Dickinson. On the opposite side for Fargo South, also again 4-5 on the season. Head coach by Tyler Colson, his 5th year, looking for their first playoff win since 2014, where they won on Halloween night in 2014 against Bismarck Century. Their last state title was in 2013. It's Fargo South and Dickinson. Fargo South and Landon Dockin will put this one on the tee at the 40-yard line to get things going here to start our second half of play. Little series history dating back again, 8 consecutive wins for Fargo South. Last win for Dickinson came on August 29th of 2003, 34-28. They've met 4 times in the semifinals since 1987. Most recently in 2001, Fargo South beat Dickinson in 87, 88, and 89 consecutively in the semifinals to get to a state championship game. Also, Fargo South beat Dickinson in the quarters in 1992, 2009, and 2012 most recently. As we get ready for this second half of play, Dockin will put this one up at the 40-yard line. Weiler and Selly back here for Fargo, for Dickinson at their own 5. Dockin end over end, and that one goes into the end zone for a touchback. And we'll see some of the adjustments here in the chess match for both of these teams as we get to this second half on what did you like? What were some things you want to kind of change in the second? What would you like to stay the same? Both defenses would like to kind of keep where they've been playing at, and that's been tough, and try to keep everything in front. Don't let anything get behind. For offenses, like to find a little bit of a rhythm since Fargo South had it in the first drive. Been a little bit more hard to come by in the latter part of the first quarter and the second quarter. As we get ready to go here in the second half, shotgun formation, as this one will be a read option. Mavity going to go to the right-hand side, and Fargo South just able to come up there. Brody Anderson Skipple in on that one. Also coming through the A-gap was Kobe Jones, as Mavity able to get back to the line, and that's about it. Up front again for Dickinson, Melvin at left tackle with the right tackle of Evan Davidson. You have Littlefield at guard with Richter, and Brost is the center. For Dickinson, we've seen Berg and Mavity for the most part in the backfield here tonight. Two wide receivers split out either side. Weiler, and on the near sideline is Chase Selly as he is in the slot here for Dickinson. Mavety again, he'll go behind the right-hand side, and coming across on a hard pull there was Melvin. And Mavety is able to get to about the 24-yard line for a 4-yard rush. 8 carries for now 25 yards. Fargo South on the back end here. We've got Spy, Cascella, Locker, and Corbel with linebackers of Thomason, Jones, and Sadness here as Fargo South with 4 down linemen right now. We'll see if they bring some pressure. They'll bring 4. Berg steps up, fires. That's going to be complete, and Dickinson has a little bit of a lane. That's Carlson past the 50 to the 45, spins out of a tackle, and he brings up Bruin with him into Fargo South territory down to the 37-yard line. Good opportunity there for the play. That's going to go for 40 yards on the pitch and catch. And the longest play of the game goes to Carlson, 2 receptions for 45 yards. Berg now has 55 yards passing, and just like that, Dickinson is able to get into Bruin territory here, less than 90 seconds into the second half. Berg, QB keeper, able to get to the 30-yard line, to the 25, and he's still at the 20. Is able to get down the far sideline. That's been the best 1-2 back-to-back plays we've seen from this Dickinson offense here tonight. A 20-yard rush by the senior Berg. First down and 10 for the first time tonight for Dickinson in the Bruin red zone. 8 carries for 55 yards, and Dickinson wasting very little time. Able to get a good deep post down the middle to Carlson. And then a Berg rush, and here comes the Midgets. First down and 10 at the 17. Read option. Mavety to the 15-yard line and brings a Bruin with him down to about the 11. A 6-yard gain here for Dickinson is coming in on the tackle. That'll be Tyler Christensen here for Fargo South. Second down, and it looks to be about 4.5 here for Dickinson. 9 carries, 31 yards as the Bruins are going to stack a little bit of the guys up front. They throw some pressure, it looks like, on the A-gap. We'll see if they bring it. Kagba might have been drawn offside. We'll see if it's encroachment or if it's a false start. If it's encroachment, it'll be close to a first down here. It would be a first down here for Dickinson. And it is going to be encroachment. Penalty on Fargo South. That'll be their first one here of the second half, and it'll be a 1st and goal upcoming here for Dickinson. Drive just over 2 minutes of play. So far able to go 72 yards. They would love the final couple here to get into the end zone. It's actually at the 6-yard line, so it's gone 74 yards so far. One wide receiver split up both to the left and right. Shotgun formation. Fargo South bringing some pressure up the middle. Berg able to bounce it to the outside. Gets to the 5. Does he have the crease? Into the end zone. Touchdown, Dickinson. Berg with a 6-yard rushing score for the first time tonight. The Midgets are on the board with 9:40 left to play here in the third quarter. Berg with a 6-yard rushing score. 9 carries now for 61 yards and a touchdown. And Dickinson will come on here as they will go for the ever-important point after attempt. Here comes the PAT. Mavety will come on here as Chase Selly is the holder. And we're going to have a false start here on Dickinson. So this will push him back 5 yards. Now it is a 20-yard PAT. Goes to a 25-yard opportunity here. As we'll go back to the 15-yard line now for Mavety to put that tee on the turf. Dickinson able to go 80 yards in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, capped off by a Berg 6-yard rushing score. Mavety point after attempt upcoming. Clean snap. The hold is a little late. Mavety, the right-footed kick, he missed it. He missed it to the near side. That hold kind of came a little bit late there as they were trying to put it on the tee, and by the time Mavety had to kick that one off, the Bruins were humming down the alley, and that one's going to be missed. So mark that one for scoring at home. 6 points there for Berg, but the PAT is missed. Dickinson back within 1 early in the third quarter here on your live event.
Rock Solid Concrete. Give them a call at 701-238-4523 to get a free estimate on all your concrete projects. Services provided are, but not limited to, decorative stamp patios, decorative stamp sidewalks, new and replacement driveways and sidewalks, garage, shop, and shed pad floors, and residential and commercial flat work. They would love to sit down with you and find a plan that works best for your projects. Call Rock Solid Concrete at 701-238-4523.
For the Dickinson Midgets, they get the answer like Fargo South was able to do in their opening drive of the first half. Dickinson takes the opening drive of the second half for a touchdown, but missed the point after attempt, so Fargo South still leads by 1. We'll see how that PAT comes back here later in this contest, but for Fargo South, we saw some of the adjustments for Dickinson in that opening drive. What will be some of the adjustments offensively here for the Bruins when they get their hands on the football here in this third quarter? Mavity will put this one on the 40-yard line and kick from the north to the south end zone here. This one is just a roller that goes all the way down to the 17-yard line. Hansgard at the 30, and Hansgard gets to the 32, a 15-yard return. Fargo South will have their first possession of the second half at their own 32-yard line. 9:36 left to play here in the third quarter. Still to come on our postgame show. Once we get there, it'll be our Enbridge Player of the Game. Put a bow on what happened in this one and take a look ahead at what the playoff bracket in 11A and AA looks like in the semifinals and get you set for the 9B and 11B semifinals tomorrow afternoon throughout the state of North Dakota. 1st and 10 for Fargo South. They'll come out in that shotgun formation. Dickinson, 4-down lineman, bring a little run blitz. Sadness trying to go through the teeth of that Midgets defense, and coming in and grabbing him for a loss is Max Wilkinson, a 6'3 junior at 290. They will give him a couple yards there on the gain at about the 34. But Sadness gets about a gain of 1. Up front for Fargo South, Skipple at left tackle, the 6'4 senior. Andrew Weber will bookend the tackle spot, the sophomore at 5'11". Guards of Christensen and Graywin, and Nielsen at center here for the Fargo South Bruins. One wide receiver either side. That'll be Corbel and Hansgard. Shotgun for Nissen. Nissen, handoff, Jones. Jones able to get to about the 35, 1 yard on the gain, and that's about it. And the guys up front, and Aguirre and Wilkinson causing some havoc here early in the third quarter for the Dickinson Midgets on the defensive line. Jones, 13 carries now for 60 yards. For Dickinson up front, you also have Ian Brose at the defensive end spot. Linebackers of Caden Selly and Jackson Melvin. Sam Stillings and Mavity, the linebackers, with Chase Selly, Ben Carlson, Berg, and Weiler in the secondary here for the Midgets. The Bruins need their own 42 for the first. Dickinson, we'll see if they bring some pressure here. They have 4 guys at the line. They will bring 5. Nissen fires. That's going to be incomplete at the 45-yard line. Had it for a moment, then came out of his hands there for Jack Corbel. Would have been enough to move the chains. Instead, the clock will stop with 8:05 left to play in the third. And Fargo South will have to come on and punt. Good throw there by Nissen, able to hit Corbel, who came back on that route to about the 45. Had enough as he ran a couple yards in front of the first down and the line to gain, and came back for that one as just kind of hit him right in the gloves and unable to bring it into the chest and bring it home. So here comes a punt by Dockin as Berg is back at his own 30-yard line. He catches it on the run. Then Berg will just go out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. So Fargo South, after their opening touchdown of the game, since then 5 punts and an interception. And for the Dickinson Midgets, a chance to take their first lead now of the contest with 7:56 left to play here in the third quarter. They'll have it 1st down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Midgets looking for their first semifinal appearance since 2001. They did not play Devil's Lake, but they lost to St. Mary's earlier this year, 34-0. This will be a handoff to Mavity, who flips into the backfield on the end around. That'll be Chase Selly on the reverse past the 45 to the 46. 7 yards on the rush. Selly's first rush of the night. As we've been able to see Chase a couple times in some different formations and spots for the 6'1 junior. 2nd down and 3 upcoming here for Dickinson. We've seen a similar play that went to Mavity when he lined up at the tight end spot. kind of had that little end around as Dickinson will come out here, second down and short. Selly, jet sweep, cuts it back in at the 45, puts the helmet down, has close to that 49 that he needs. Jones in on the tackle for Fargo South right on the emblem at midfield. And we'll see where they spot it. As he needs the 49, that ball is about as close as you can get, and we're going to get a measurement here. Bring out the sticks. It'll be third down in inches, or it'll be first and 10 here. It'll be the first time we'll see the chain game come out here tonight. 6:58 left to play in the third quarter. Dickinson, opening drive of the second half, able to go 80 yards for the score. A Berg rushing touchdown from 6 yards. It's Chris Crick, our cameraman, trying to get the best angle of this one as our umpire here, and Wayne Grippentrog says it is short. So just shy here, third and inches upcoming after Selly able to get back-to-back carries. 2 carries now for 9 yards. Fargo South will make a couple of substitutions. Michael Barnes, a 6'1" at 225 defensive lineman, will come into the contest. We'll see what Dickinson comes out here if they come out a little power set. We saw a power set earlier that got broke to the outside for a touchdown and one that had a tackle for loss. They'll do that there with 2 men going down a lineman stance in the backfield. And now Berg wants to throw, has one-on-one going deep down the field for Weiler. Weiler, that's incomplete at the 20-yard line. They took the shot, the box was loaded, and they went up the far side there to Weiler, and that one's going to be incomplete. Will Locker does a good job of getting that one, but Dickinson quickly going to get to the line here, not wasting any time. They need the 49 for the first. See if they go hard count. They don't. They go right-hand side. Fargo South trying to get the stop, and it looks like Fargo South is saying he did not get it. Zach Tomlinson able to come there, and Tyler Christensen on the tackle. They're trying to see where they spot it here, and that's going to be awfully close to where they spotted it before. I think you might need to bring the chain gang out on this one to double-check one more particular time, as that is about as close as you can get it here. And they haven't asked yet for the chains to come out, and there it is. They'll bring the chains out one more time. So they went for it, third and inches. They threw it deep down the field to Weiler on the one-on-one opportunity with no safety over the top because the Bruins brought everybody 5 yards in the box and under. And then they quickly get right back on the ball. They go right up the middle to the quarterback, Berg. And it wasn't enough to get the first. Here's the stretch of the chains as they bring it out, and he's going to be short. Turnover on downs. Fargo South's defense makes a stand. And Fargo South, for the first time tonight, will take over in midget territory with 6:24 left to play here in the third quarter. Be first and 10 Bruins at the Dickinson 49-yard line. Rolling the dice that time for Dickinson, head coach Don Chuksher, trying to get that just a couple of inches, unable to do so there on 4th down and short. First and 10 for South. We'll see if they can take advantage. Jones has to cut back in, and Dickinson just flying to the ball right now. Tell you what, these linebackers and these defensive linemen are playing very complimentary football. Jackson, Melvin, Aguirre on the outside, forcing Jones to cut back in. And then when you have a Stillings, when you have a Mavity and Selly, they're able to have some speed, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss on the rush by Jones. It's the one thing that I've been very impressed by Dickinson tonight. Those defensive ends able to get up the field and force Jones to kind of come back into where he's got some help there for the linebacker spot for Dickinson. 2nd and 12. Read option. Nissen able to almost break one big time free. Getting the right hand on him was Max Wilkinson, enough to trip Nissen up past the 45 to the 44-yard line. That'll be 6, make it 7 yards on the rush. 2 carries for 12 yards now for the sophomore quarterback, and makes it 3rd and manageable here for Fargo South. As Nissen will come to the near sideline here, get the play call, and then they'll break the huddle. Play clock at 17 seconds left here in this third quarter. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. One wide receiver split out either side for the Bruins. Emmanuel Spy will split out to the left. Dickinson right now, they'll bring 6 men at the line. Handoff Jones. Jones puts the helmet down, but Mavity is there to bear hug him and take him down for about a 1-yard gain. 15 carries for 59 yards. And what Dickinson, what we're kind of seeing here in this second half is put 4 or 5 guys at the line, get up the field, allow the linebackers to kind of do some of the hard work in terms of make the tackles and kind of dare Fargo South to throw the ball. It might be whoever able to make a big completion down the field on a one-on-one might end up winning this particular game because both defenses right now playing some stingy defense. Here comes the pump by Dock and end over end. And Berg's going to let that roll inside the touchback here. So a punt of 43 yards. It'll net 23, and Dickinson will handle it first down and 10. So the Bruins playing some field position as they punt for the second time here in the second half. And with 4:16 left to play in the third quarter, Dickinson will take over at their own 20-yard line. The Midgets will handle it. First down upcoming here for Dickinson. They went 80 yards on their first possession of the second half after the penalty on a legal procedure was declined by Fargo South. Fargo South, 34-0 win. A 37-0 win against Grand Forks Central their last time out a week ago Thursday. Dickinson a week ago Wednesday, 22-8 win to close out the regular season against Turtle Mountain. Shotgun formation, Berg, Mavity. Mavity past the 25-yard line and spins to about the 26, and they might even give him the 27 for the spin and the extra yard. 10 carries now for 38 yards right now for Luke, the 5'11 senior. Came in with 471 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns on the ground. Dickinson quickly breaks the huddle, gets back to line. Berg, QB keeper. Berg just makes a little cutback. He was going to the right-hand side behind Victor, sees the lane develop and gets the first down. Past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. 5 yards on the gain for Berg. Having himself a nice second half here. 20-yard rush, a 6-yard rush, and a 40-yard pass so far for Berg in this Dickinson offense. If you're just joining us, Fargo South scored on their opening drive. Kobe Jones, a 12-yard rushing touchdown. Docking point after attempt was good. Way back in the first quarter with 6:21 left in the opening quarter after the first drive of the game for the Bruins. Shotgun formation. Mavity handoff. This one goes up the middle here to the 35 and to about the 36. Stillings in on the rush. I was able to get 4 yards. That'll be the third carry for now 13. Dickinson able to answer on their opening drive of the second half. Berg, a 6-yard rushing touchdown that capped off the 80-yard drive. There was a false start on the PAT, which moved him back 5 yards, and then the PAT was missed. So that's where we have the 7-6 score here late in the third quarter. Second down and 6. One wide receiver split out either side. Stillings to the right of Berg, who's in the gun. Fargo South, they'll bring 4. Berg, QB keeper. Berg able to get the first down as he tries to muscle his way to that 42-yard line. And we'll see where this one is spotted, as we might have to bring out the chain gang one more time here in this third quarter as they're going right down the field, and they're going to say it's third down, so it's going to be short. So third and short here after about a 5.5-yard gain by Berg. 11 carries for 71 yards, and now we might get an official's timeout here for the chain gang to come out. If I'm either team, particularly in this situation, I would ask for the chains to come out, try to see what you need, and allow a little bit more time for a play clock and a play call to see what you want to bring in as they'll stretch it out the chains. And it's going to be third down. So we'll continue to be third and short here for Dickinson with 2:01 left to play in the third quarter. Reminder, high school football tomorrow on your live event. Central Cass at Hillsborough Central Valley. The Squirrels and the Burros. Central Cass beat Hillsborough Central Valley 31-12 to start the season back in August in Hillsborough. Only loss for HCV on the season. They'll try to get a little revenge and advance to the semifinals. That's tomorrow on your live event. This one, Berg, right-hand side, and Berg's going nowhere. The penetration right up front from Fargo South by Brody Anderson, the sophomore, able to stonewall Berg, and then Berg just kind of had to take a couple steps back, and then that was going to be a loss on the play of 1. Great job by Brody Anderson up front, able to apply the pressure and force a punt now here by the Midgets. Dickinson and Ty Nelson back on to punt. This will be his 5th punt of the contest. Clean snap, the right-footed kick, end over end. This one gets to about the 34-yard line. Hansgard is there after the kick of 25 yards. 1st and 10 for Fargo South with 57 seconds left to play here in quarter number 3. The Bruins will start with at their own 34-yard line. Fargo South is a great starting field position in this second half. They're on 32, Dickinson's 49, and now they're on 34-yard line. Just haven't been able to capitalize on it yet. 7-6 is your score. Fargo South came in averaging 16 points. Dickinson came in averaging 15 points, and we might get to those averages yet. 1st and 10, Fargo South, shotgun formation, low snap. It's on the carpet. Jones is going nowhere, and Jones is going to be tackled for a loss. Darren Aguirre, the 6'1 junior, comes up and wraps him up for a loss. And that one right off the snap again was on the turf. And fortunate for Fargo South that all it was a net of -5 yards instead of a turnover. So Jones will pick up the rush. That's not one you want to see back on the stat column, as this might be the last play of quarter number 3 potentially. Fargo South breaks the huddle with 10 seconds left on the play clock here. 1 wide receiver split out either side. Dickinson right now with 3 down linemen on this 3-4 front. Play clock down to 2. They get it off. This one going to be a handoff, and Dickinson is just everywhere right now, particularly Caden Selly, the linebacker, came in unevaded and wrapped up Dorian Sandus for another loss. 3rd down and about 20 upcoming here after back-to-back plays of -5 yards. And tell you what, if you've liked defense, this has definitely been the game for you. Some hard hits, some good plays on both sides of the ball. And Dickinson down by 1 with 12 minutes left to play in regulation. South will have it 3rd and 20 when we come back here on your live event.
Hi, I'm Paul, one of the advisors at Legacy Wealth Management. Every Sunday, you have a chance to watch Brian, Brady, and me on Investment Talk Television. Or you can listen to Investment Talk Radio. But most importantly, if you have a question or a concern about your investments, the stock market, or your retirement, you can just pick up the phone and call Legacy Wealth Management. There's no charge. Remember, we're local, experienced, and we work for you.
Advanced Vision Center provides the highest quality, compassionate optometry to ensure that your family enjoys a long, happy, and healthy life. Doctors Jay Nelson and David Prismus and the entire staff at Advanced Vision Center wish the Dickinson Midgets good luck in the playoffs and are thankful for the opportunity to take part in your family's eye care needs. Get a good look today at Advanced Vision Center in Dickinson. For more information, go online to ndadvancedvision.com. That's ndadvancedvision.com. Back here with 12 minutes left to play in regulation. Fargo South 7, Dickinson 6. Update for you out in Bismarck. St. Mary's leads in the second half 37-13. So the winner of this game looks like they'll head out to Bismarck here next week. Shotgun formation. Nissen winds, delivers down the middle of the field. That one's going to be picked off by Fargo South. By Dickinson. As they were looking down the field, Ben Carlson jumps the route at the very last second. They were looking for Jack Corbel at the 50-yard line. Instead, it's going to be a pick, and Fargo South's defense will have to come back on the field after 2nd interception of the game. So 2 turnovers here by the Bruins. The first one provided no points for Dickinson, but Dickinson right now, if he had momentum, the first half was Fargo South, but Dickinson right now feels like they have it here in the second half. Their opening drive of the 4th quarter will be right at midfield with 11:53 left to play in regulation. Ball hung up just a little bit to allow the defensive back and Ben Carlson to come up and grab that ball. 1st down and 10 here for Dickinson. jet sweep. This one goes to the far side as that's Selly, Caden Selly. We say Chase Selly a lot. They're cousins. This one goes to the 46-yard line for a 4-yard rush for Caden, the 6'2 senior wide receiver, for his first touch of the night, either receiving or rushing. And seeing the jet sweep come into play a little bit more here. That's the wrinkle in this second half, trying to open up the middle there for Berg and Mavity to try to run through the teeth of this Fargo South defense. One wide receiver, make that twins, both left and right. Shotgun formation here. Motion man is Selly. This time Chase, they fake the jet sweep, going back with a little bubble screen to the left-hand side, and Fargo South was ready for that one as they hit Weiler. But great job on the outside by Fargo South to not buy it, as that was going to be Locker on that one. It's actually going to be a 2-yard loss. Weiler's first catch of the night. 53 yards passing now for Berg as he's 5 of 11 through the air for 53 yards and 1 interception. And 3rd and 8 upcoming here for Dickinson. They will need the Bruins 40-yard line. Trips to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Fargo South 4 down linemen. They'll rush 4. Berg steps up in the pocket as it collapses, rolls near side, looking down the field. No one's open. Now he looks to pick up a block. Cole Kagba is there, and Kagba takes him down at the 30. Cole Kagba, the super sophomore, comes up with a big tackle for a loss and a sack in the backfield. That's going to be minus 18 yards. It goes all the way back to the 34-yard line, and the Bruins come up with a 3-and-out. What a play by Cole Kagba, the sophomore, just not stopping on the play. And with under 10 minutes left, Dickinson will have to come out here with Ty Nelson. And that one almost gets blocked by Semenko. Hansgaard will get to the 30-yard line for the fair catch. That one punted of 36 yards. As we do have a flag at the 49-yard line, we'll see what the penalty is. As that one was on the Bruin emblem, kind of sinks in a little bit with the soccer ring around at midfield as well. We'll see who the penalty is on. It looks like Dickinson is saying this is on Fargo South, so move it back from the end of the kick. As they take a look here to make sure they'll mark it off. Holding on Fargo South, so take it 10 yards from the end of the return on the fair catch. Now will be at the 30-yard line for the Bruins. Their second penalty here of the second half for 15 yards, but they'll take the stop regardless with 9:42 left to play in regulation. Fargo South up by 1 here on your live event. This one has just been a defensive-minded kind of a game. And how do you want to play this one right now if you're Fargo South and head coach Tyler Kozel? Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining here as Dickinson's defense looking for another stop or a turnover. Fargo South would like to get a couple first downs, take some time off the clock, and try to put a score up. Nissen, read option, and waiting for him right in the gap was Mavity, the linebacker, as that one gets about a yard, and that's it. Also in on the tackle, Ian Brose, the 5'11 senior defensive end. 2nd down and 9 here for Fargo South. Nissen, 3 carries for 13 yards, but those little creases that were open in the first half, Dickinson has found a way to try to close them up a little bit quicker here in the second half. And again, it goes back to which QB might make a play through the air. That could determine the outcome of this game. It just might be a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and long, or maybe you just go one-on-one down the field. Play clock down to 4. Motion man is Kessel down to 2. They get it off. Nissen keeps it, has a lane, and there it is, a little speed option as he had a little shake with Jones, and Nissen able to get past the 25, past the 30, down to the 34 for a 13-yard rush. First down, Fargo South. Nissen doubles his yards on the ground here now at 26 on the night. Bruins up by 1 here in the 4th quarter. Coming up on our post-game show, we'll get to your out-of-town scoreboard as well across the state of North Dakota. 8 games in action, all in A division. A final, Fargo Shanley moves to the semifinals in Double-A with the 15-point win over Mandan. Handoff, this will be a reverse little end around to Hansgaard, and Hansgaard's going to get met at the line. Dickinson does a really good job of just staying home defensively. Wilkinson was part of that party in Bros to stay there and just goes nowhere. So Hansgaard going to get back to the line, and that's it. Also, end of the third quarter, Bismarck Century 28, Bismarck High scoreless. West Fargo in the fourth quarter leads Legacy 28-0, and Cheyenne 28-6 over Minot, 4:18 left to go in the fourth quarter. That's all in Double A. Second down and 10. Fargo South at their own 34-yard line. Handoff. This will be to Sandus. Sandus gets past the 35 to about the 37, maybe 38-yard line as Caden Selly in on the tackle. Sandus able to get 4 yards on the gain. 7 carries now for 11 yards. The winner of this game will play the winner of St. Mary's and Devils Lake. Bismarck St. Mary's 37, Devils Lake 13 with 1:45 left to play in the third quarter. Jamestown well in control against Grand Forks Red River, their first meeting in the postseason between the Blue Jays and the Rough Riders in 30 years. Jamestown 35, Red River scoreless with 2:55 left to play in that contest, in the third quarter, Here we are, third down and 6. Nissen has some time, goes deep down the field. That one's a big, almost caught at the 25-yard line. Spy got by the secondary, and we've been kind of harping at it. When is there going to be that big pass play for an opportunity down the field? And there it was for a second for the Fargo South Bruins as Spy was able to get past the secondary here of Dickinson. Instead, the clock will stop with 6:46 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And Dockin will have to come out and punt this ball away. As Berg stands back at his own 29-yard line, and we got a flag. This one looks to be on Fargo South, and mark him back 5 yards. As we have a false start here on the Bruins. Third penalty of the second half for 20 yards here for Fargo South. Back him up 5 more yards, and Berg again is dangerous. Had a 50-plus yard punt return in the first half. Dockin gets this one off, but it's off the side of his foot on the far side of Dickinson. Let's see if their Easter Day brings up Dockin. There's going to be no penalty on the back end as Dawkins' kick will go out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And that's going to be for 25 yards, and with 6:34 left to play here in the fourth quarter, Dickinson will handle it near midfield. Field goal would take the lead, but again, with a missed field PAT earlier tonight, you're Dickinson, you just want to find a way to get in the end zone. On the opposite side, if you're Fargo South, opportunity here for your defense one more time to try to go out and make a play. 1st and 10, Berg in the shotgun formation. QB keeper Berg up the middle, past the 45, hops over at Bruin as he gets hit in midair. That was Kobe Jones to make the tackle and kind of hit the leg there of the runner in Berg for a 5-yard gain. Troy Berg bringing his hard hat to work here. 14 carries for 57 yards. Midway point here of quarter number 4. Winner again goes to the semifinals, in which it looks like they'll be in the capital city in Bismarck going up against the Saints. 2nd and 5. Selly in the motion on the jet. They fake it to him, give it to Mavity, and Mavity plows his way into Bruin territory, past the Bruins 45 and down to the 44-yard line. Mavity able to get 9 yards on the rush. 11 carries, now for 47 yards. 5:50 left to play here in regulation. And now for both teams, we need to start thinking about using those timeouts, barring what happens on the field. Dickinson, you just like 3 yards and a cloud at us and get the game-winning score. For Fargo South, try to build the wall right here. Mavity up the middle. Mavity's thinking more than just 3 yards and a cloud at us. He wants another first down. That one going to be awfully close to the 34. See where they mark it. They'll give him the 34, and that looks to be enough for the first down of 10 yards on the rush. As they have it on the far side as they move the chains. And Mavity, back-to-back plays here for Dickinson to get a first down. 12 carries, 57 yards. Midgets quickly get to line. Fargo South showing some pressure, and we're going to have a false start there. This will be on the left-hand side for Dickinson. Second penalty of the second half. Their fourth of the contest for 30 yards. And a first down and 15 here for the Midgets. This goes back to the 39-yard line. Chase Miller with you here from Fargo South High. Chris Crick running the camera here. This game kicked off at about 7:03 here tonight. This one going to be for Berg, and Berg going to get met up right at the line. Good job on the outside for Fargo South as they're able to come up with that one on that stick of Tyler Christensen. 2nd and 15. And now the possessions, got to start factoring those in with the clock continuing to wind and the timeouts. Might this be Dickinson's last possession on offense, or might there be a second one remaining if they're unable to get into the end zone? Fargo South, see what they bring defensively here on a 2nd and long. They'll bring 4. Berg looking to throw, pocket collapses. Berg to the near side here, looks down the field, fires. That's going to be complete at the 15-yard line. Hauling it in is Ben Carlson. Carlson with a huge play of 25 yards. 3 receptions. Now for 70 yards. Carlson has a 40-yard reception and now a 25-yard reception here in the second half. And Dickinson has it 1st and 10 at the Bruins' 14-yard line. The 5 seed Dickinson Midgets right now able to go through the air that time with Troy Berg. Spent enough time in the backfield, able to allow Carlson to get open on his route down the field for a 25-yard reception. Berg, QB keeper, cuts back in, and Berg is going nowhere as you have the big guys on that one. Christian Skipple in on the tackle. Berg gets about 1 yard, and that is it. 16 carries now for 58 yards, under 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Dickinson right now, as the play clock goes down to 20, so we're able to get the play call in, coming in late from the far side. Dickinson will have to hustle to get to line with 10 seconds here on the play clock as they break the huddle. 2nd and 9 for Dickinson. Berg with Mavity in the backfield. Berg, read option, gives it to Mavity, cuts it back in, and coming in on the tackle on the backside was Thomason. Alongside with him is Tyler Christensen. Mavity able to get about 1 yard, and that is it. 13 carries now for 58 yards. Right here, the ball is placed at about the 11-yard line, so it'll be a 28-yard field goal from here if Dickinson doesn't get any more yards. Under 3 minutes to play in the 11A quarterfinal round matchup between Dickinson and Fargo South. The 5 at the 4 seed here. Dickinson 3rd and 8. The Bruin faithful making some noise, stomping their feet, shaking our camera. 3rd and 8, Berg tries to bounce it out to the outside. Kagba chasing him down, and Berg is going to be short. He got past the 10. Now it's just a matter of, is it at the 7 or the 8-yard line, as we'll see where they handle it. And this one, if it's going to be a field goal, that would be a tough one. It looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit out. This will be at the 7-yard line on the gain of 4 yards there for Berg. That's going to be a tough one here on the angle, as this one will be at the 25-yard line. This is where they missed the point after attempt back in the third quarter after a flag. Mavity will come on. Chase Selly to hold, and Jackson Melvin is the snapper. Under 2 minutes to play. This to give Dickinson the lead in the quarterfinals. Clean snap, the hold, right-footed kick, end over end, and that one is through the uprights and good. A 25-yard field goal by Luke Mavity gives Dickinson their first lead of the game with 1:50 left to play in the fourth quarter. Mavity and the special teams unit for Dickinson comes back in the fourth quarter and redeems himself after a missed PAT with a 25-yard field goal and a new score. It's Dickinson 9, Fargo South 7 here on your live event. Back here after the 25-yard field goal by Mavity after the first half. It was 7-0 Fargo South. The second half, it's 9-0 on the scoreboard in terms of Dickinson to take a 2-point lead. A 25-yard field goal by Luke Mavity. Able to put that one through and now comes on for the kick. But both teams again with all 3 timeouts remaining. And remember, Fargo South has a pretty good field goal kicker themselves in Landon Dockin. So the question is, where do you got to get to field goal range? And this would help with a pretty good return here on the kick. See what Mavity does here. If he squibs it, there it is. It's a squib all the way to about the 14-yard line. Fargo South with Hansgard at the 15 to the 20 and able to get out of bounds and have it at about the 22, maybe 21-yard line. Fargo South in the second half, 3 punts and an interception. Offensively, it's been tough sledding here for the Bruins without question in this second half. They'll mark it at the 21-yard line with 1:46 left to play in the fourth. Dockin again for the Bruins has made 2 field goals from 40-plus yards this season. So when you take a look, you're looking to about get to the Dickinson 25-yard line is kind of where the range that you need. You need about 54 yards in a minute and 45 seconds to allow 1 second on the clock and give your kicker a chance to put you in the semifinals. 1st and 10. Nissen takes a deep drop, steps up, fires down the field. This to Hansgard. Hansgard, this one incomplete at the 40-yard line. They went one-on-one, and guess who? The man who's had 2 big receptions can play some D as well, and Ben Carlson makes it 2nd and 10. Oh, what a play. That one was dropped in the bucket. A great throw by Nissen, but a better play by Carlson to get that one out of Hansgard's hand to make it now a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Nissen 0 for 4 with an interception in this second half. Dickinson, Kobe Jones had 12 carries for 59 yards in the first half. He's actually lost 5 yards here in the second half. Again, they have really stonewalled the run, and they're forcing it to throw. We might need a timeout here, or we're going to get a delay of game. And there it is. It's a delay of game. Play clock goes all the way down to 0. Or does Tyler Kozel get the timeout before the delay of game? We'll see what the officials, what they give. Wayne Grippentrog will signal it is a timeout. We'll break with them. Timeout on the field. 1 minute and 39 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 for South when we come back here on your live event.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, so no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
The Lisbon.
Back here on your live event as we get ready after the timeout here by the Bruins. Will it take single digits, or can Fargo South get to double digits and find a way to get on the board? 2nd and 10. We'll see what they drop. Trips in near side. Dickinson going to rush for Nissen. QB keeper has it to the 25. Cuts back in 30. First down to the 35. And Nissen gets a great gain and a tackle there as Caden Selly comes up with a tackle. And we got an injured midget. Aguirre right now is at the 37-yard line. Not coming up under his own power is there. It's good to see. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him after the rush there by Nissen. So Nissen able to get 16 yards on that rush. 5 carries now for 42 yards and a good chunk and a good gain. And the clock will stop as they got to take a look at Aguirre as he comes off the field. 2 wide receivers, both right and left. Fargo South with 2 timeouts remaining. Dickinson with 3. 91 seconds left to play in the 11A quarterfinals. Nissen drops. Nissen steps up. We got a flag, and that looks to be a hold. And then we're going to have another flag, and this might be offsetting. We might have a hold on Stillings for Dickinson, and then we might have a hold on Dickinson on Fargo South on the offensive side. So this could be offsetting penalties, and essentially 7 seconds come off the clock and an opportunity to replay first down. Dickinson that time went to full coverage mode. They just brought 3, drop back 8. So holding on both teams, and that's what we're going to get. So offsetting penalties, and we'll replay the down. So for Dickinson, you'll take it because 7 seconds comes off the clock. But again, Fargo South feel like you got to get to that Dickinson 25-yard line for a chance for your kicker, and Landon Dockin, who's 7-9 on field goals this year, 2 of 3 from 40+. Kind of want to get to that 25 for a chance to give Dockin to get that right-footed kick. 84 seconds left to play in regulation. Shotgun, Nissen, gonna roll to the right-hand side, and Nissen is sacked back at the 25-yard line. Coming in late is Caden Krieg, the junior, comes in for the big sack as that goes all the way back to the 25, and we're gonna get a timeout by head coach Tyler Kozel. That'll be a 12-yard loss for Fargo South. And that one, at a very tough time, makes it 2nd and long. We'll keep it here with 1:17 left to play in regulation. Fargo South takes their 2nd timeout here of the 2nd half. And we've seen some deep balls down the field, but now Fargo South has been seeing Dickinson change up the coverage a little bit to more of a, again, keep everything in front of you. They brought a delayed backer that time to Dickinson, and Caden Krieg almost playing a spy and saw that Nissen was going to stay a little bit in the gun, came in late, found an alley, and brought him down for the 12-yard loss. 2nd and 22 upcoming here for the Fargo South Bruins. It has been one of those kind of games where yards, points, and anything you can think offensively has not been easy here tonight for either side of the ball. As we take a look for Fargo South after the timeout, what they will drop. Final, Jamestown 35, Red River scoreless. That is a final in Class 11A. Jamestown advances to the semifinals. 2nd down and 22, shotgun formation. Nissen sees a 3-man rush, gifts it out. That's going to be incomplete. They're looking for about a 10-yard out pattern, incomplete here for Fargo South. They're going for Trent Hoffert, the sophomore tight end. Now you just wonder here for the Bruins, is this where you try to set up a screen, get some potential yards, make it a little bit closer, even though Dickinson is, again, not pressuring, but try to just give Nissen something to hit that's easy down the field, or do you wind up and allow him to throw the deep ball? We've seen Nissen able to throw a couple really nice balls down the field, just been better coverage by the back end by Dickinson. Midgets, 5 men in the box. They'll bring 3. This one, a hook and ladder upcoming. They give it to Jones. Jones to the 35, 30 to the 40. Jones awfully close to that first down. We'll see where they make it. That's going to be 20 yards. Bring out the bag of tricks before Halloween. You saw the hook and ladder just kind of coming on that one. Jones able to get 20 yards after the catch and then the pitch. And what that did makes it 4th and 2, and the clock will stop as Jones got out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 64 seconds remain here in regulation. A stick here by Dickinson will get the Midgets to their first state semifinal since 2001. South needs the 47 for the first. Play clock down to 8. Now down to 5, and Dickinson wants to take a timeout. We'll keep it here as Dickinson trying to look at the formation and then allow a little cat and mouse game here to see what Fargo South might try to draw up. Perfectly timed, though, hook and ladder to try to get some plays. You needed to do something offensively to try to get a little jump start here. And better job, though, by Dickinson in the corner that was on the near side. Kind of saw Jones leaking back out and able to force Jones to the boundary. If he was unable to do that, Jones probably gets enough for the first, and Fargo South would maybe have it in Dickinson territory. Instead, it's a 4th down and 2. Again, Fargo South looking for their first state semifinal appearance since 2014. Dickinson looking for their first one in 20 years. The last time they made it to the semifinals was 2001. 9-7 Dickinson. 4th and 2. Bruins season on the line. They need the 47 to keep it going. Shotgun, Nissen, QB keeper, has the first down past the 50 into Dickinson territory. In on the tackle for Dickinson is Stellings. Able to get 7 yards on the rush was Nissen. And then Nissen going to quickly spike this one. Clock stops with 57 seconds left to play in regulation. Right now for Fargo South, you're about 20 yards away from feeling decent about Dawkins' chances to put one through the uprights. You probably need at least a good 15 to 20 to give him a chance. Again, he's made 2 field goals from 40 yards here this season. Not too much of a wind here tonight, but the wind that is here, Dawkins would have to kick into a little swirling wind that's kind of going cross field right now as well. 2nd down and 10 for Fargo South. Shotgun formation. 1 timeout remains for the Bruins. Nissen tries to hit his man on the outside. Incomplete to Corbel. Corbel is looking for about a 6-7 yard hitch. And the clock will stop with 53 seconds left to play. Dickinson Midgets also 8-game losing streak against Fargo South. Their last win back on 2003 of August of 29th of 2003. Also dating back to 1987, Dickinson 0-7 against Fargo South in the postseason. And we're going to have a late sub breaking the huddle. And we're going to get the flag here as Sandus comes to the near sideline. And I think they're going to say illegal substitution and a late sub there. We'll have him come out, and or they're going to say no flag. There it is, no flag on the play. So the near sideline line judge, will pick up the hanky and say no flag. So get right back to a 3rd down and 10. Twins right, 1 near sideline. Nissen in the gun. We'll see if Dickinson rushes. They bring 4, and we do have a flag that comes out here. As we now will have a false start on Fargo South. The Bruins, 4 penalties in this second half, and that's for 25 yards here in the second. So Fargo South brings them back to a 3rd and 15. They did convert a 1st down after a 2nd and 22, but now it's 1 lets down, 3rd and 15 here. Dickinson, 4 men at the line. They will bring 4. Set up the screen near side Jones. Jones gets past the 50, knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Stillings in on the wrap-up for about a 3-yard gain. So South gets a little closer, but 4th and 12 upcoming. 2 catches, 23 yards for Jones on top of 54 yards rushing tonight. And here it is again. 4th in the season for Fargo South. 44 seconds remain here in regulation. They will need the Dickinson 37-yard line for the first. 2 wide receivers, 1 on either side. Shotgun. Dickinson bringing some pressure. They flip it down. Incomplete. That one's going to be incomplete, or they'll call it a completion regardless. Fargo South is going to come up short, and that'll be a completion in the flat to Sandus for a 5-yard loss. And the number 5 seed Dickinson Midgets come across I-94, and they're going to find themselves heading to the capital city a week from tonight for a semifinal round matchup against Bismarck St. Mary's. The Bruins just got that one out quickly, trying to give it to their running back there in Sandus. And the throw was short, and Sandus just kind of got ate up there by the turf monster. And Dickinson brought a little pressure, able to force Nissen to get that one out of his hands early. And the Midgets are going to walk into Fargo South. They gave up an opening touchdown to Kobe Jones, a 12-yard score that went 61 yards down the field on the drive. That nearly ate up half the first quarter, and since then, they have stonewalled the Bruins offense, trailing 7-0 in the first half. They score a touchdown in the third. They get a Mavidi 25-yard touchdown in the 25-yard field goal in the fourth quarter with 1:50 left, and that's pretty much going to do it. South will take their final timeout of this one as Dickinson puts the knee to the ground, and all that you're hoping for is a bad snap here, a missed handoff, or potentially just a one-hopper essentially to Berg, as Dickinson will come out again in victory formation. Fargo South will finish the season 4 wins and 6 losses. Dickinson will improve to 5-5 on the year and have a rematch with Bismarck St. Mary's. St. Mary's beat the Midgets back on October the 15th, 34-0 in the Queen City in Dickinson earlier this month. Fargo South, Tyler Kozol's club, 1-4 to start the season. They went 3-1 down the stretch, playing their best football coming into tonight. 4-5 matchup, just kind of a coin toss, and Berg will put this one to the knee again to the turf, and that is going to do it here as Berg will shake some of the officials' hands here, and the Dickinson Midgets are going to find themselves entering the semifinals as now the party will ensue on the far side of the field. Some of the coaches are giving each other's handshakes and hugs, and head coach Don Chuckshire is going to see this Dickinson Midget program win their first playoff game since 2005 when they were in Class 3A, winning a play-in game against Jamestown 15-13. It's their first, though, quarterfinal round win since 2001. The Dickinson Midgets come on the road and win it tonight 9-7. A 25-yard field goal with 1:50 left to play. Mavity buries one from 25 yards from the far hash. Gives Dickinson the 9-7 defensive slugfest win here tonight. Our post-game show is coming up next with our Enbridge Player of the Game. That's all still to come here on your live event.
Ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you. Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
American Crystal Sugar Company, with their 4,000 plus employees and shareholders, are deeply rooted in the communities of the Red River Valley. They're committed to the sustainability and growth of their business and to improving lives in the places where we work and live by investing in people, our communities, and the future of American Crystal Sugar. Visit crystalsugar.com to learn more about scholarships, grants, volunteerism, donations, and more through the Community Roots American Crystal Giving Program. Growing strong community roots. American Crystal Sugar Company.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
If you like defense, this was the game for you. Still to come, we'll get to our Enbridge Player of the Game. Dickinson wins it 9-7 against the Fargo South Bruins. And catch this stat. Dickinson, 5-5 now on the year. They're 4-1 away from the Queen City. They just find ways to win here this season for head coach Don Chuckshire and the Dickinson Midgets as they upend the Fargo South Bruins, snap a 8-game losing streak against Fargo South. And again, since 1987, Dickinson was 0-7 against South in either quarterfinals or semifinal round playoff games. And now the
employer and provider.
This is Chris with RDK Enterprises. We have all heard of supply chain issues and the challenges they bring. As the demand for planting equipment increases, we are trying to be as proactive as possible. RDK has secured a supply of precision planting products and maintenance parts for your planter, hopefully minimizing some of these supply chain issues. If you are planning any upgrades, repairs, or maintenance, give us a call. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
Well, sometimes you just get plugged off in sports. That happens, but we're back here for our post-game show. We'll name your Enbridge Player of the Game upcoming here in a moment, but let's get back to our post-game show here before we put a bow on this one. We were kind of mentioning the defensive game that it was. Fargo South with 139 yards of total offense after having a 61-yard opening drive for a touchdown, able to only get not even 70 more yards really of offense for the rest of the game. On the opposite side, for Dickinson, they would finish with just 209 yards of total offense, 78 yards through the air, but it was that kind of game. And give a lot of credit to Carlson. Carlson made a couple of big plays for Dickinson. Ben Carlson, the 5'11 junior wide receiver, a 25-yard reception and a 40-yard reception. The 25-yard reception eventually led to a Mavity 25-yard game-winning field goal with 1:50 left to play in regulation. So kudos to Dickinson, and again, you tip your cap off to Tyler Kozel, a club that could have very easily, at 1-4 to start the season, could have packed things up and said, you know what, it's just not going to be our year. Instead of with the very young club, they go 3-1 down the stretch in the regular season. Home game, they came up a little bit shy here tonight. But I tell you what, the way Dickinson was able to play, and if Troy Berg's healthy, they might give Bismarck St. Mary's a real tough game here in the state semifinals a week from tonight. So in the first quarter, Kobe Jones' 12-yard rushing touchdown point after attempt by Dockin was good. 6:21 left to play in regulation. Dickinson, then Berg, a 6-yard rushing touchdown point after attempt was missed after a false start. They had to move it back 5 yards, a little bit of a low snap, delayed hold. Mavity missed the field goal wide left. Well, what'd you know? Go to the fourth quarter, 1:51 left to play. Mavity off a tough angle from the far side from 25 yards, able to put that one through the uprights. 9-7, Dickinson comes away with the win. Let's get to our Enbridge Player of the Game, and I think as much as you can give it to Berg, I think as much as you can give it to Carlson, how about the defensive line and the linebackers of Dickinson on what they were able to do? Brost, Aguirre, Wilkinson, Melvin, Stellings, Mavity, Caden Sell, they were flying everywhere in the second half, and they made it very tough for Sadness, Nissen, and Jones to get anything going on the offensive side. They did a great job at Dickinson. Those are our Enbridge Players of the Game. Work has begun to replace Line 3, and helping everyone is Enbridge's top priority. Robust COVID safety rules have been established for employees. Learn more by visiting enbridge.com/line3.us. That's enbridge.com/line3.us. So the final thing before we will head out in this one is take a look at some finals across the state of North Dakota. Again, in this particular contest, Dickinson again wins it 9-7. That is a final here for the Midgets, going across the way in 11 AA Century, 28-0 win over Bismarck High. Bismarck St. Mary's a 37-13 win over Devil's Lake. That is a final. Also, some scores continuing to trickle in here. You have Jamestown with a 35-0 win, a final in Red River between Jamestown and the Rough Riders here. And as we take a look at Fargo North is up 34-12 with 5:23 left to play in the fourth quarter. If they win that contest, they would go to Jamestown. And then also Fargo Shanley defeated Mandan earlier today, 35-20. And taking a look at West Fargo, the Packers able to pick up a 31-0 win. That is a final. 31-0 West Fargo over Bismarck Legacy, and West Fargo Cheyenne 28-6 over Minot here in 11 AA. Still to come tomorrow, catch the Hillsborough Central Valley and Central Cass Squirrels in the 11B semifinal round opportunity here in the quarterfinals. Central Cass at Hillsborough, Central Valley in Hillsborough. That'll be at 2 o'clock. So that's what's coming up tomorrow. Again, the final numbers in this one for Fargo South, they would finish Kobe Jones 54 yards rushing with a touchdown. Nissen 7 carries for 37 yards, and Sadness had 7 for 11. Nissen through the air. Tough performance tonight for 40 yards passing. His leading receiver was Jones for 23 yards. 2 turnovers for Fargo South, 5 penalties for 25 yards. For the Dickinson Midgets, 62 yards on the ground by Berg, 78 through the air, 58 yards rushing by Mavity, 13 by Chase Selly. Carlson, 3 receptions for 70 yards, and Selly 2 receptions for 10 yards as well. Dickinson 4 penalties for 30 yards and 1 turnover in the contest. Dickinson's first semifinal round appearance since 2001. They go to 5-5 on the season. They will play Bismarck St. Mary's a week from tonight in Bismarck. Fargo South finishes the season at 4-6. On behalf of Chris Crick, I'm Chase Miller. Thank you very much for tuning in to high school athletics here on Your Live Event. You can catch more games on yourliveevent.com or check out the complete replay after this game is done. You can watch it on demand as well. Again, your final, Dickinson 9, Fargo South 7 here on Your Live Event in the 11A quarterfinals.